Hey everybody, let me turn on some light. There we go. How you doing? Happy Friday, everybody. Kind of a last minute thing again. Decided to do a listing show tonight. I haven't done one all week. The reason was we had, unfortunately, a death in the family. So I spent some time in Staten Island during the middle of the week and wasn't home to do my usual, but everybody's okay. We're back home and ready to get going again, ready to start listing. So thanks to everybody that shows up tonight. I appreciate it. I know it's a Friday night. I know it's a holiday weekend, and maybe you guys have things to do, but I'll tell you what, around here, it's awful. It's raining. We had severe thunderstorms blow through about an hour ago. I was worried about losing power, but thankfully that never occurred. And now we're just dealing with kind of cloudy, rainy, steamy, nasty weather. So I figured hunker down and get some listings done. Hey, Jeff, thank you. That's okay. But I appreciate the sentiment very much. We're going to continue with, I have a bunch left from the last show we did, which was probably about a week ago. I don't even remember what the exact date was, but I have a bunch of ads still. It's from 1923. And without any further ado, let me pull up my screen. And just for my own memory, I don't remember what month it was, but let's take a look at the draft that I saved. September of 1923. Okay. And it's a McCall's, a big one, 16 tall by 11 inches wide. How's everybody doing? Before we get right into this, I'm just curious how your sales are going. Has anybody tried that coupon thing that I recommended a couple of weeks back? I'm still doing one basically every other day for a term of, like, let's say I do it in the morning. This morning, I let it run through 11:30, I think it is, Pacific time, the following day. So really it's like a 2-day sale, 2-day coupon. Still getting at least a handful every day since I've started doing this coupon technique. About I don't know, 4 or 5 a day are a direct result of using that coupon. So it's kind of cool. So I'm going to keep doing it, until it fails me. I'll keep trying it. But I'm curious to see how you guys are doing. If anybody is selling ads or selling, I know we're all selling something, but here's how everybody's doing, how sales are going. I hear a lot of stories. I know this is probably signifying the summer slowdown, I guess, begins, even though summer really is about 3 weeks away, but everybody traditionally considers Memorial Day weekend the beginning of summer, so be it. I know a lot of people start hanging out, going on vacation, and this year being quasi-normal for the first time in a couple of years, I bet you that's even amplified even more, and more people go out and go on vacation. So good for them. That's cool. I have a very busy performance schedule coming up with my Beatle band, which starts in earnest in early June, where I'll be playing, like, I think the busiest month for us is July. We have like 15 shows in July and like 12 or 13 in August and 4 or 5 in June. So I'll be pretty busy myself, but I'll still be here listing. Hey, Jeff, you're not doing the coupon, still getting sales. Oh, great. That's cool. Yeah, I certainly wasn't insinuating that everybody needs to do it. I was just curious if anybody had success with it. It's working really well for me. I'm happy. More so than any other thing I've ever done, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, I've tried, the traditional couponing thing where after somebody bought something, you could send them an electronic coupon, welcome back to our store. I never got literally not one sale from doing that. Granted, I didn't really try it that long, but probably about a month or so. No success at all with that one. Whereas this one, from day one, like I said in that video, instantly I had whatever it was, 4 or 5 sales that day. Like within and I'm not even exaggerating, within 2 or 3 hours after starting the coupon, the sales came in with that little tag on there that it was, purchased with whatever my code was on the first one. So I'm very happy with it. I mean, the other thing I guess that a lot of people do, and I do as well, is the promoted listings, the traditional regular promoted, not this high-end promoted thing. But even that, I tinker with the percentage now and then. Like now I'm down to just a 1% across the board, no matter what the product is. With exceptions, there's probably about 20 or so listings I have that don't have any promoted on it at all, because I think that they're popular enough they don't need it. But like for the ads, they're down to 1%, where I was up to about 10, I think, for about a month or so. Didn't see any significant bump. Again, I keep talking about this coupon, but the coupon gave me a much bigger bump than the promoted thing. So it's back down to 1% from here on in. We'll see what goes on. We'll see how it works. I'm not down on it in any way. I'm not anti promotion. I think it's, a valid tool. I think there's certain categories where you almost need to, where it's something super competitive like clothing and sneakers and things that everybody sells, toys even, things like that. Probably you would need that little advantage. Hey, CJ, welcome. Happy Friday evening to you. Started a little later too tonight. I just figured, we'll have a nice evening. I'll probably do a couple hours again. Get the rest of these listed, which is, let me see how many I have. I think I have like 10 or 12 left over from our last show from this 1923. And then I still have a handful from, I think it was 1906. So we have plenty of scans to work with this evening. And plus we could always, just chat in general, see how things are going. I'm curious if you guys, anybody saw the sheet music video I did. Again, I guess it was about a week ago. Everything kind of got stalled. Monday night we did our chat show, which was a lot of fun. And after the chat show was when we got the news about the death in our family. So everything since then, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, basically were, totally eBay free. Other than, we just look at my store going and everything, but I haven't listed in a couple of days because I was away. But it goes back in earnest this evening. Who receives the coupons? It's a public coupon, CJ. You have the option to set up a public or a private coupon. I haven't dabbled in the private coupon piece. I think that's more of like the traditional one where you can send out an offer to maybe people who subscribe to your channel, to your eBay store, or you could send emails out, or you could put it out on, Instagram or something, however you promote your store activity. Mine is just a public one. So I guess it's anybody who comes across the ad out there is able to use it. And you can, if you check out the video, you could see how to tweak it a bit, but you can set parameters within your coupon where, it can't exceed a certain dollar amount a day, let's say, for one individual buyer. You don't want to give them like $1,000 off or something. You could set up the term, you could set up the percentage, you can dig deep, and you could just do the coupon on certain items. You could have it across the board, across your whole store. You could do it individual categories within your store. There's a lot of options to tailor it to how you want it to work. The one I've done for this last, whatever it's been, week and a half, 2 weeks, maybe even now. I'm not sure when I started it, but every other day I go in and I put a 20%. I've been doing it on the ads, the print ads, every single time, but then I've been throwing in a different category now and then. In addition, like the sheet music section, I actually threw that on. Had a couple of sales from that, not as many as the ads, but then again, I have, far less. I only have 150 listings or something with sheet music, whereas I have like 2,500 print ads. So I think it's more, I think that's more of a factor, just the sheer volume. I also did a coupon. I used the same coupon on some Disney items that we have in our store and did sell a couple of those too. But again, the quantity is, a fraction of the ads. So every day the ads, I get 4 or 5, I would say, pretty much 4 or 5 sales directly as a result of the ads. Yeah, Jeff, that's always a great thing too. Offers to watchers. I usually let those build up a little bit. I think we talked about this once before too. Maybe if I get to like the point where, let's say, open up eBay in the morning and overnight there's like 20, 25, the ability to send offers 20 or 25 people. I usually wait till like noon or so, let that number get up a little bit higher, hopefully, and then just send out like a blast of, offers. Of course, I look at each individual one. There's certain items, like I won't go below, as a general rule, with very, very, very few exceptions. If it's less than, like if the item is only $10, I'm not going to send an offer. When we take $1 off, 20% would be $20, $2 off of it. At that point, it's kind of silly, but you watch the video. The public one, like I said, I think it's just attached to your listings, almost the same way that like if you were to run a sale. It's kind of the same premise. If you were to run a sale within your store, just a regular, Memorial Day weekend sale, 20% off, 10% off, whatever it is, it's kind of the same thing. I don't really understand what the distinction is, to be perfectly honest with you, because I could do the same exact thing. I could run a sale this weekend, let's just say, right? 20% off, and do the same thing. Just put a selection of items that I want to put on sale for that period, and away we go. But again, sales, we were talking about different methods to market and the success rate. This coupon, every single day I've sold at least 2 or 3, and as many as I think probably like 6 or 7, let's say, as a direct result of the coupon. Whereas when I run a sale, which I've done 100 times before, I never had a great success rate with that. I could do the same thing, put all my print ads on sale for 3 days or whatever it is for a certain percentage off. And yeah, I'll get a couple, but I will never get like 5 or 6 a day, 6 or 7 a day. And this coupon thing, for whatever reason, maybe because it's new, I'm not sure exactly how eBay goes about launching it. It's really a good point, CJ. Who does it go to? It's on the ads. It's on the listings itself. If you look at any one of the listings that have that option, in fact, yeah, I'll pull one up so you guys can see, just in case you haven't seen it. It's almost exactly like a sale. The verbiage is different, but it's kind of the same principle. Yeah, I'll pull this one up. This is I just started a new one. Like I said, it's every other day. So today was the day to do one. Let me pull this one down, this screen down for a moment. And I'll share the other screen. I'll show you what it looks like. And how the end buyer or potential buyer would see it. There you go. You see? So right at the top, you have this little blast, extra 20% off with code Jiminy5. So it gives you the ability to put like a little coupon code, which I also learned you have to change it basically every time you do one. And if there's somebody else using the same coupon code, it'll prompt you to change it. So maybe it's that level of exclusivity that makes it more appealing to people. I'm not really sure what, like I said, the distinction between this and a traditional sale, but other than the fact that it works, at least for me, way, 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 way better. It's much more effective. But that's all it is. It's a coupon code at the top. And if you click on this and see other eligible items or whatever, it brings up everything that I have on sale for this period. So 2,578. And that's just, I think for this weekend, it was just ads that I did. Or for this 2-day period. It's not even the weekend. It expires tomorrow night. And then what I'll do is on Sunday morning, I'll do a new one that runs through Monday evening. And there's Memorial Day weekend covered. But that's it, that sense of urgency nonsense that everybody falls for is limited time only. Hurry, hurry, hurry. So that's pretty cool. But it is a good point, CJ. Who does it actually go to? I don't know that it goes to anybody. I think it's just available on a listing. So if anybody's looking at a listing, and let's say you do promote your listing, just kind of a twofer then, because you have your promotion, theoretically, which gets more eyes in front of your items. And then when they do get the eyes on there, if they read, they'll see the little coupon thing up there. One thing that was kind of funny, I had a, probably, I guess it was last weekend, same kind of thing, right? I had a coupon on there for the ads, 20% off, use my coupon code. And I received an offer, which comes in all the time, right? You get a regular offer on an item. And it was one of my traditional $15 ads, and somebody gave me an offer for $11, I think, or something like that, right? And I went in and I countered with I said my usual thing. I said something like, "Oh, hey, I'll meet you in the middle," whatever, right? Whatever the middle of that was, $13.50 or something like that. And when I sent it, he declined it. And I'm like, "Oh, fine, whatever." And 2 seconds later, the same guy wound up buying it, but he used the coupon code, so it wound up being $11.99, which was kind of funny. So that's interesting to me. Like if I guess from a buying, I haven't used, I haven't bought anything using this coupon. I haven't seen any come to me for things that I like to buy. But I'm curious, like, let's say when he sent that offer to me, did he not notice that there was a coupon attached, or did he not? I guess it only is in play when you actually go to buy the item. Maybe it comes down, when you get your invoice at the end of the transaction, it's time to pay. That's probably when you see the coupon applied to your order. So I thought that was interesting. Okay, let's bring up the eBay listing screen again. So everything sound okay, guys? No echoes, no craziness, I hope. You'd let me know. I appreciate it. There we go. All right. We're about 15 minutes in, so I guess it's time to list. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Again, for those of you just joining, we are dealing with a September 1923 McCall's magazine, which we did together about a week ago or so. I don't remember when the last show was. I'm sorry, check YouTube, but whenever that was the last show. So let's pick an item. Let's go with this one first. This is a full pager. Try to do a couple of, we have a lot of those like half page and quarter page ads to work with this evening. But here's the first one. Again, 1923. So radio probably existed, but it was probably in its infancy. And I'm sure it wasn't. I know we talk about this almost every week, don't we? But I don't think they were in homes yet. So this is a record player, essentially. 3 new Victrola models. And you can see the models pictured there. They're all kind of similar to me. They look like beautiful pieces of furniture, right? But they're really just, it's the model 400, 405, I think it is, and 410. And then it kind of talks about the bells and whistles involved with each one of them. Has the classic His Master's Voice down there. The iconic kind of emblem for Victrola and later RCA. RCA and Victor, of course. All clear. Thank you, CJ. So that's his first one. Let us start building this one up. It's 1923. It is Victrola. I'm curious to see if I just type Victrola, what the options are provided to us. Yep. Phonographs. So put it in the phonograph category. I'm trying to remember what my internal store category for this would probably be, yeah, I guess household items or electronics. Electronics we'll go with. 1920s. Let's fill out a couple of specifics. How's everybody doing with their specifics, the recommended specific stuff? I'm still keeping up with them constantly. I don't like to see that annoying tab at the front of my screen every time I log into eBay. It says you have X amount of specifics to fill in. So I try to bang them out immediately if I get any. That's how I really get them is if I end and sell similar, it winds up like kicking up a whole bunch of new ones I have to do. So there's our specifics, pretty simple, right? Original print ad, Victrola, 1923, black and white, not modified, US, and the theme is communication and utilities because that is the category we're in for phonographs. I just want to look really quick because I haven't been in here a couple of days. See, we're back down to, at least I'm doing 1% now. A whopping 15 cents should this sale take place using promoted listings. I think that's money well spent. Who knows if it really works? But we give it the old college try. All right, so it's 3 new models. So I think I'm just going to write that 3 new models. His Master's Voice is kind of an iconic thing. I usually put that in. You know, we always talk about this on the show, but if there's a dog, especially dogs, to a certain extent, cats, I like to highlight that or mention the breed. And honestly, I don't know what that famous, let's look him up, the RCA dog, you know, when he's listening into the horn of the Victrola there. Let's see what kind of dog that is. He reminds me of, what's the dog's name in The Little Rascals? Kind of look Petey, right? With the circle. Do a little Googling and see what kind of dog we have. The dog's name is Nipper. And he's a mongrel. Oh, well. Yeah, so it's like a mutt. So let's just put Nipper, the dog. I think that's a cool thing to throw in. I'm sure that I know for a fact people collect Nipper. So I'll put Nipper, and it's Nipper. His Master's Voice. Let's see, anything else? And this is interesting. They give you a list of suggested records to purchase that would sound great on their products. And pretty much without exception, they're all classical pieces. I'm just trying to read some of them. Ave Maria, what do you know? Schubert. Minuet in G, Traviata, Waltz of the Flowers. So yeah, all classical. Let's see if we can fit classical. Classic. Okay, right, records. Yes, records will work. Jeff, down to about 402 stores, 400 listings. That's cool, as long as you're selling. I'm not big on that. That was when you start out, especially when I was watching, I've been doing eBay forever too, like a lot of other people claim, but I have. Whenever it came out, 96, 95, I remember selling stuff on eBay then, but it was kind of a joke, I thought at the time. The internet in general was brand new. I didn't really know anything about it. The whole thing when you had to send checks and everything was an auction. So I did that on and off for years and years and years, but I didn't get full throttle into this as a career until just 3 years ago. But I ramped up for, like, let's say, what year are we in, 22? Probably about 10 years ago was when I started. Yeah, 2012-ish. When I started, a personal goal to get out of the business I've been in forever and hated with a passion. And I just, challenged myself to get X amount of listings. That was the big thing. And then when I started watching YouTube videos, it's like, well, until you get 1,000 listings, you can't expect to sell that many. And until you get 5,000, you can expect to sell. I think that's all nonsense. It doesn't matter what the quantity is necessarily. If you have 1,000 lousy items, you're not going to sell anything. If you have 10,000 lousy items, you're not going to sell anything. If you have 100 really good items, you might be able to retire early. So it really completely depends on what you sell. And of course, the basics, having a good picture and having a good title and keywords, and that you're priced competitively. That's all it comes down to. So quantity, I preach quantity when it comes to, for example, the print ads. I just think that if you have a quantity up, even if there's slower sellers or long tail, like everybody says nowadays, if you have a large enough quantity, it doesn't matter if they're long tail. I might sell 5 ads that I list tonight, and they might sit in my store for a year and a half until they sell, and everything in between. But because I have 2,000, 3,000, eventually 25,000 of these things up, I don't care when they were listed. I don't care how long they were up. Every day I'm going to sell a certain quantity that I'm happy with. And that's really all it comes down to. So it's not really a numbers game as far as, if I get to 1,000 listings, I'm home free. Or if I get to 10,000 listings, I'm a millionaire. No. It's selling enough and making enough money every day, every month, that matters. And whether you do that with 100 listings or 100,000 listings is up to you. I'm a little over 3,000 pretty much consistently now. And that's with selling a bunch and listing a bunch. And so, like I said, I haven't listed in like 3 days, which is a very long stint for me personally. Luckily, we still have some sales, but they definitely dipped for me. And you never know how to attribute this stuff. I think it's kind of useless. Recommended listings, you asked. Oh, that's right. Okay, cool. Yeah, 400. Holy cow. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Do a set list price for your print ads? Did you research one? Great question. As you watch this show, you'll see that I pretty much have a set thing in my head based on a few different parameters, like a run-of-the-mill regular ad, $15. That's just my pricing structure. That's what I do for a full page regular ad, $15, $14.99. That little 99-cent trick nonsense, but it's $15. If it is a car, I found that cars are very, very collectible and very popular. I'll automatically, just by virtue of being an automobile, that $14.99 becomes $19.99. And then depending on the age of the car and the rarity of the car, you tweak that price up and down. But there's just certain things that I, from doing it for a few years, and this is just my personal business model, that's really what it comes down to, Barbara, is that my run-of-the-mill basic everyday ads are $15 minimum. I don't have anything below that. And I do certainly have plenty above that. If it's a double page ad, a lot of these ads are 2 pages. They're folded. They're either a centerfold or they're 2 separate pages. That's going to be a premium. But again, everybody talks about perception, right? Perceived value and all that nonsense. But it really is true. If I'm pricing it at $15 and I have 2 pages, you would think, well, $30 for 2, right? That's 2 times 15. But you put in that perceived thing. So like for a 2-page ad, again, within reason, probably like $19.99, $21.99. Again, depending on what it is. If it's a 2-page car ad, then that's going to be like $29.99, most likely. which is still less than double the price of one. Recommended. Yeah, sorry about that, Jeff. 400 is a lot. Yeah, there's a great example, CJ. Railroads. I agree totally. Usually go up. In my case, airlines as well, like TWA. I have a beautiful ad up that really looks nice. A 2-pager. TWA. I think it's from the late 56, 57. And it was basically announcing, I don't know if it was the 727. I don't remember what the number was, but it was announcing a brand new airplane that was a cross-continental, and it had a beautiful double-page image of a TWA airplane flying with like Big Ben in the corner. It's just a really cool ad. So something like that, it's not going to be $15. That's going to be priced at a premium. So I definitely don't research each one, Barbara. That's that's one of the really fun things about doing these listing shows with everybody when we have a big crowd, which tonight is but I expected that because it's Friday, Memorial Day. But usually when we have a decent crowd and everybody's contributing their thoughts and stuff, then we will absolutely research stuff. And we've found collectively on these shows a lot of real good things that I probably wouldn't have seen if I was doing it myself. Like, for example, when it comes to women's fashion, we always joke about that. But when we talk about women's fashion of like say the turn of the century or the 10s or the 20s, and somebody will say, oh, that's a bob cut haircut, you want to throw that in? Oh, okay, bob cut. And I write down a little list for myself, and then the next time I have one of those type of advertisements, I'll be sure to put those keywords in, especially if it sells. But things like that, some of the illustrations that are done on these ads are really beautiful, and once in a blue moon we'll find out that the illustrator themselves is somebody really famous, so we'll put in the person's name. So that's the sort of instances where, I'll do a little research, but a good portion of the time, like 9 times out of 10, I have my own pricing structure in my head, which I share with everybody on these shows. Again, subject to change. You guys want to do whatever you want. This is just how I do it. I've tweaked it before. I might tweak it again. But that's really how it is. Most of them are pretty much in my head. And then the one-offs that have something really cool we'll talk about, and maybe I'll dig in a little deeper on those. But that's probably like 1 out of every 10 ads. Hi, Debbie. Welcome aboard. How do I organize and store them? Sure, you could ask. Uh-oh, hold on. I see the kicking myself. I've seen this comment before. My goodness. Yeah. And again, welcome, Debbie, because you said you knew. It's not so much the magazine, it's the advertisements within the magazines. That's what I've learned through trial and error here, is that, the what's the expression? The sum of the parts is much more than the sum of the whole, whatever the expression is. Don't just sell a magazine. Even though you might be able to get $20 for an 1896 issue of McCall's magazine, you can get $20 for one page times 20. But I know a lot of people have done that. But now you can be on the lookout, Debbie. And I have a whole video series. I don't mean to keep pushing this. It's just the truth. On my YouTube channel, check out my YouTube channel if you haven't. And there's a whole 7-part video series about this print ad topic. And I go through that. I go through where to source them. I go through exactly how I store them and list them. They're all broken down. But I'll give you a high-level answer to the first question you had. Organize and store them. I have these little plastic sealed mailer kind of things that I linked below, I think, in this stream, I believe. You can order them yourself if you like it. They're 15 inches by 11 inches, I believe. They're just clear plastic. And what I'll do is, let's say I cut out 25 ads from a Life magazine, right? Any issue of Life magazine. I'll put those 15 or so ads in that clear plastic, and it has a little seal at the top. And then I have my own personal SKU system. For Life, it's really creative. Letter L, and I'll just do like Life 1. That's my first magazine. The next batch, 20 more, put them in, Life 2, and so on. And then I have a series of file cabinets off to my left where I keep them in numerical order. So all the Life magazines, which are the lion's share of what I have up right now, probably like 1,500 of my 3,000 at least are Life. Put them all, I think they take up 2 or 3 spots in my cabinets, and then the McCalls and Good Housekeeping and other magazines that I have. Same concept. It's just instead of L, I'll put MC for McCalls. 1, 2, 3. That's basically it. It keeps them dry, keeps them safe. And again, knock on wood, but 2 or 3 years of doing this, I've never had any issue whatsoever with shipping, with anybody ever complaining whatsoever about the quality of the advertisements. In fact, often you can check out my store anytime you want, anyone, and you can see the feedback, which is 100%, thank goodness. It's always raving about the shipping and the quality of the stuff. So Hope that helps a little bit, Debbie. But check out the videos. And you can see, like, they're not very long. They're probably like 5 or 6 minutes each, maybe 10 minutes on a long end. And it kind of gives you a really good chronological view of the whole process, at least what I do. Hey, Bartomania, what's going on, man? Welcome. So now you got to go get yourself some new ones, Debbie. You can find these magazines all over the place. Oh, you're welcome, Debbie. Enjoy them. I'll put a link for you if you'd like, and you can check it out. Just take you right to the playlist. Just bear with me 1 second. And while you're watching me think, please, if you're enjoying this, give a thumbs up to the video. I'd appreciate it too. That really just helps the algorithm within YouTube to suggest my channel to other people. I would really appreciate that. We started in January, so now I'm at 4 months, a little over 4 months of doing this. Let me find my playlist. There it is. All right, Debbie, here you go. That's a direct link to the playlist. Anybody wants to check it out, I just put it in there. Just click on that. Hi, Barbara. Well, I know when I come across, yep, Coke is another great one, sure. Yeah. Yeah, you do look at all the comps? I see, I don't. Coke, but Coke's a prime example of one of those ones that, of course, are going to be a little bit of a premium. There's a few that you might not know of. Campbell's Soup, which I talk about almost every show. Campbell's Soup, for whatever reason, very popular, so they're at a premium for me. Like I said, all automobile ads without fail, and some are really high. Airlines, Planters Peanuts, because of Mr. Peanut, seem to sell well. There's a bunch. We could talk about them, and we might even come across a few, but you're right about Coca-Cola, absolutely. Probably one of the most collected products globally, in general, not just print ads, just in general, Coca-Cola. Anytime Christmas is on something, Santa Claus, any Christmas-related ads sell at a premium. And the mother of all, which I've talked about 100,000 times, is World War II. World War II ads. Now, if you get a nice stack of magazines from 1939 to 1946 even, because the war ended in 45, and up until the end of 45, they're still talking about it, because I have a bunch of really nice Christmas time. 1945, it's the first peacetime Christmas, and they keep talking about that. But those World War II ads are a treasure. Grab World War II magazine, especially Life. They're just chock full. Not only do you have the whole World War II angle, but the amount of advertising is just overwhelming. The morale of the country and everything is buy war bonds and help the war effort, and it's incredible. You have stars, Bing Crosby, Bob Hope, Andrews Sisters, all plugging products and smiling with Chesterfield cigarettes, Bob Hope says, and all that stuff is just cigarettes ads are very, very popular. That's another huge category. Yeah. I'm sorry. Well, everybody knows now to not throw them out anymore, right? You're welcome, Debbie. Oh, thank you very much, Barbara. I appreciate that. Yeah, we had Tracy on with 1987 Ventures. She was a riot. She was charged up. She wrote me afterwards. She says, "I'm sorry if I was talking quickly." I mean, what do you mean? She said she had like 3 cups of coffee prior to the show. She was all fired up, but she was bringing some beautiful items to the table. That's for sure. We have another special guest. We're going to do a show. I always do Monday night chat shows, but we're going to switch it to Tuesday because of Memorial Day for Monday night, out of respect for Memorial Day. So we will do the show on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. And I will have that posted probably tomorrow or Sunday. I'll do a thumbnail and post it out for you guys. But we're going to have another special guest, a new person, whereas Tracy's been on twice already. We have a brand new individual who will be on Tuesday. I'm really looking forward to that as well. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Okay, where were we? Victrola. Yeah, so I was saying, and this is, while we're on the topic for Debbie and and Barbara, Victrola, because it has a dog, a very famous, who we just figured out name is Nipper, was it? Yes, Nipper the dog, the iconic RCA Victor symbol with the dog going like this, right? The little white dog. Turns out he's just a mutt. So I'm not going to put mutt in there, but usually, like, let's say it was a greyhound or a golden retriever or a boxers are very popular. Boxer dogs are hugely popular. So I recommend if you see something like that, and regardless of what the ad, it could be a ketchup ad, but if there's a German Shepherd in there, always indicate German Shepherd, because there's rabid collectors who will collect anything that has a German Shepherd in it, or a pug, or a boxer. Like I said, huge, and that goes across the board. It's not just dogs, but dogs are probably the most popular. Cats, of course. People collect silly things, elephants. They love elephants, so anything with an elephant in it, they'll collect it. Just something to kind of be aware of when you're looking at these ads, to look beyond the ad, so to speak. Like, don't just look at, this is Victrola, there's a dog in there, there's a record player in there, like there's other things. And these earlier ads, they're not as evident. Like, it's pretty much cut and dry. They don't get very creative until later on. But when they do get creative, they get really creative. Hi, Susan. Welcome aboard. Great to have you. We are listing, if you just joined, we're listing some print ads from 1923. I think we said it was September. Yes, September 1923, McCall's Magazine. We're on the very first one because we've been having a good chat with everybody. But this first ad is for a Victrola, 3 new Victrola models. There they are. And they recommend purchasing, 10 or 15 classical records and hear them at their best on the new Victrola. And you can see right at the top, this is something else I wanted to point out. You see how it says McCall's Magazine, September 1923? They have that header on every single page of this magazine. And that doesn't last very long, but the older ones seem to do that across the board, not just McCall's. Good Housekeeping. What's the other one we list a lot from the old days? Colliers Weekly, same thing. They'll put Colliers Weekly, January 1909, whatever the year is, on every page. A lot of people like that. A lot of people that buy these ads, they like to see kind of a timestamp, if you will, on the paper. It doesn't always happen, but it seems to be almost universal through the 20s, I believe, and then it kind of tailors off. CJ talking dogs here? Hold on. There you go. Boston, classic one, right? Boston Terrier. What was the ad for, CJ? And I bet you, and you think that the Terrier sold it, right? Like, it could be anything. It could be Coke, which would be a real home run, because then you have the dog people and Coke people, which is going to be a lot of people. But yeah, you might be able to bring people that would otherwise not be interested in the product, but because there's a Terrier on there or a German Shepherd or whatever, they'll buy it, which is really cool. So you bring in you definitely broaden your scope, which is the ultimate goal. Get as many eyes on your product as you can. Hey, Deal Finder, how are you? Waiting for a good score. Where are you looking? I can tell everybody, again, it's in the video, but a lot of you guys are, frequent flyers here on the Jiminy Flip It Show. But without question, estate sales usually have a bunch of them. Facebook Marketplace is a really good place to search. Just look at Facebook Marketplace, local to you, wherever you live, put in your zip code or whatever you got to do to narrow it down to your neighborhood, and just put in like magazine lots or anything along those lines. And that's how we had, I've talked about this too, I talked about it in the video series, but my biggest haul ever was Life, 650 Life magazines out of Pittsburgh, and my wife found it right on Facebook Marketplace. So yeah, it was a long drive. Yeah, it took a long time, but we're still reaping the rewards. We paid whatever it was, $300 or $350 for all those magazines. It's like less than 50 cents per issue. And they were all in really good shape. Brought them home, and I still have a bunch of them. And this was over 2 years ago now. But that just shows you the volume. That's another thing to keep in mind when you can buy, like Deal Finder is saying he's looking for a good score. I highly recommend, if you're going to dabble in this and you want to get some magazines, maybe to start and just get your feet wet, you get a couple of magazines. But I would highly recommend you go out there and try to get a nice lot. Get yourself a healthy 100 easily, because within that 100 magazines, I'm telling you for a fact, just do the math. If you could get 20 ads out of every magazine, and I know you can without question, you get 20 ads out of every magazine, you sell them for $10. That's $200 a magazine times 20. It's a lot of money. They're not going to sell overnight, but you're going to have a nice stash. You're going to have a constant source of revenue coming in from this niche, from these magazine ads. So I really recommend the more you can get, the better. And then you don't have to worry about the well-running dry. If you do sell out, which is a great thing, right? You sell them, you still be able to go back. You get your process in place, which I explain in great detail within my videos. Obviously, you could tailor it to your own likings, but that at least hopefully it's a sketch and outline for you. You could certainly copy it. I don't care. plenty of people out there making money doing this. I'm not the only one. But yeah, try to get yourself a nice stack of magazines so you have kind of like a security blanket, if you will. You have a stash of them there. You could work through them. And of course, like anything else in life, the more you do something, the better you become, the more effective or more efficient you become at doing it and quicker. But that first one, take that first Life magazine and give it a look and go, oh my God, I'm really going to rip this up. How do I rip it up? Oh, let's watch Jiminy Flippin's video on how to process a magazine. No, but you want to be careful. You want to there's a couple of products I recommend using over time. I wouldn't run out and buy all this stuff right away, but it does make life easier if you're going to do this with some quantity. If you want to get like hundreds or thousands of these listings up to streamline everything, I highly recommend, like there's a paper cutter that I recommend that's large enough to fit these magazines, which took me forever to find because my wife and I, we kept going to I don't know if you guys have this all across the country. What is it? Michael's, like the craft stores, Michael's and Joann Fabric and Walmart and everything. We couldn't find anything. They were all like basically 11 inches was the cutoff. And finally online, I found this one and I linked it for everybody. If you want to get them, they're perfect. They create a perfect slice on the side. A lot of these ads, if you're pulling them out, even if you're careful, you're going to have a little bit of a rigid edge. This just makes it really neat. It looks great. And then I have a couple of scanners that I use. All things to look into down the line. But first, go out and get a nice stack of magazines. Carefully rip apart those ads. Look for the variety of ads that you see. You'll see consistency across specific types of items and during the decades, how they're worded, how certain products seem to become obsolete quicker than others. Some of them are universal. Some of them get more popular over time. Deal Finder has some good suggestions. Yeah, Facebook, Offer Upgrade. Yeah, all those. Yard sales. Yeah, sure. If you have, I don't know how many magazines I've seen in yard sales. Yard sales were, and I think it's a regional thing, like most things, but around where I live, we don't have a lot of yard sales, honestly. Estate sales are my bread and butter. That's where we source almost exclusively. We have a nice antique mall very close by to which is only open on the weekends, though. It stinks. It's only open on Friday and Saturday, actually. But every Friday and Saturday I go in there. I find 78 Records, which is another thing we sell a lot of, and albums. And occasionally you'll see the magazines in there, but they're more savvy. They sell the magazines. I've even seen some people within the antique malls. They do kind of what I do. They cut out ads, not as well as I do, not as neat as I do, and they'll put it like a plastic sheet or something, and they'll hang them up or pin them up on a wall, just sporadic items or like Life magazine covers, let's say, and they're putting like $10 on them or $5, and I can get the whole magazine for 50 cents, and so can you. When you buy them in bulk, you're going to get good discounts. And much like several people that have alluded to the fact they got rid of a whole bunch of magazines not knowing their value, that's what you want to capitalize. Now you're going to be on the receiving end of that. If you do like Deal Finder saying, you go out and you look on Facebook Marketplace and all these other places, you're going to find people that just want to get rid of their stuff, and you will gladly take it from them because you know something they don't know. Debbie had 500 Life magazines given to you for free, but the magazines themselves weren't selling for much. I never thought of selling the ads. Oh, my goodness, yeah. Well, I had, like I said, 650, which is almost the entire run, by the way, because Life was only from 1936, really, until, I don't even know if they exist anymore. I guess it's possible, but they don't do weekly like they used to do. But from 36 to like the late 70s, I believe. I think the newest one I have is 82 in that stash. But the bulk of the Life magazines were from, again, why I always talk about World War II was the 30s, 40s, 50s, primo for Life. My God, the content is incredible. And each decade, I've talked about this too, but it starts in 36. You're right in the middle of the Great Depression. So those first few issues of Life magazine, you're not going to find a ton of ads in them because it's the Depression. So advertising is kind of sparse. The magazines are much thinner because that's a new product. It's not popular yet. But once you get to World War II, Life magazines are like triple the depth of what they were originally. And you're going to find 50 ads easily in those World War II era, early to mid 40s Life magazines. That's what you want. I'm sorry about that, Debbie, but hopefully now you know, right? You go out, maybe you don't find 500 right away, but maybe you grab 100. And you put some time in. I'll tell you that too. I don't want anybody to think or make it sound like it's a piece of cake. It takes a little, elbow grease to get them out and all that and store them. But again, once you have a process in place, it's pretty simple. And then this is the fun. This is like the reward at the end when we just list them. I have a nice folder in my computer here with all the scans that I did. And there are tons of them. I have like hundreds of them saved, and I've just created a little folder within my computer, and I write the name of the magazine and the date, and away we go. Local online estate sales that have passed a few lots with assorted items. Yeah. Another key consideration, I know a lot of people have talked about this too. Ooh, aviation print ads, bagged and boarded. They're still selling. I bought them in a paper lot auction. Awesome. Aviation's awesome. I was just talking about that with the TWA ads. They sell really well. Airline ads in general. One of the coolest airline ads I have is has Eleanor Roosevelt on. It's a double page. It's Eleanor Roosevelt sitting in a plane. It doesn't say what the airline is. It's just boasting about air travel in general. It's in the mid 30s. It's still only 20 years after the Wright brothers or so, maybe 30 years after the Wright brothers. Terrible math there, but so it's still kind of a luxury to be able to fly. And here's Mrs. Roosevelt, drinking a cup of tea, saying, "Mr. Roosevelt says flying is the way to go." I love that ad. It's like one of my favorite ads. I was actually thinking of keeping it. So it doesn't have to be like a specific airline necessarily. It doesn't have to be a specific type of plane. But aviation ads, as Barbara alludes to, very, very, very popular. One Life magazine is trash. Oh, man, that's the one with the Mickey, which ironically I didn't have. I had the issue, but it didn't have the card in it. There's a famous issue of Life magazine. There's a few very famous issues of Life magazine, but one in particular has a Mickey Mantle baseball card within it. But unfortunately, most of the times you do come across the magazine itself. Somebody's been smart enough to get the baseball card out of there. Yes, Deal Finder, they absolutely do very well. I have Look Era too. Yep, Look magazines. Yep, yeah, they have great. Oh, sure, 60s cars. Car ads, you can never go wrong. 50s cars, 60s cars, 40s cars. As far back as when we were doing the turn of the century ads a few weeks ago, the 1905, 1906, and they were called horseless carriages still. Those sell just for the novelty of them. Yeah, 60s car ads. Look magazine, there's a famous issue which I have right there, which is actually one of the first things I ever bought and got me into doing this. I think I've talked about this, but for you guys who might not have heard, the very first couple of magazines we purchased were at a gentleman's house. We went there for something else. I can't remember what it was. It was Facebook Marketplace. I think my wife was looking for some dolls. He had like porcelain dolls. Long story short, it was an older gentleman. His wife had just passed away, and he was going to leave his house, which he shared with her for 60 years. And he had all the stuff out in the living room and the bedrooms, kind of laying on the floor in piles, and said, "Have at it. I can't bear to go through this." So it was heartbreaking, but the sweetest guy in the world. And my wife, like I said, was originally going for dolls, I think, because she's a fan of like porcelain dolls and pretty dolls. And we just saw some magazines laying literally on the floor. And one of them was this Look magazine with JFK on the cover. And that's what I said, "Honey, JFK, what does he want for that?" I think it had $1 price tag, but we bought all of them for like $5 or something. There was maybe like 10 magazines. They weren't in great condition, and they were just thrown on the floor. But what caught my eye was JFK. And like I've talked about earlier, the reality was everybody had JFK magazines, and everybody had the issue when he was assassinated. So it wasn't like this great money-making thing that I thought it was going to be. And that's what led me to, but look inside. There's a 63 Pontiac Firebird, whatever, car ad. That's really nice. And I went on YouTube, and this, people obviously predate me with this thing. I didn't create this genre, but I've made it kind of my bread and butter niche that I sell in, and expounded upon it. But I did find, I was watching YouTube a couple of years ago when we went and got that magazine, and it was basically the same kind of thing as me, just paraphrased in like a 1-minute ad with a guy in his living room saying, "You could cut out ads and make money." I said, "Ooh." And that's what we did. So we started with that first, handful or whatever. So instead of trying to sell the 63 Look magazine for JFK for $5, which still would have been a profit because we probably only paid like 50 cents for it. But, I realized in short order that, oh boy, there's a lot of ads in here. And that's what got me on my way. And it was very quickly after that we scored this Facebook Marketplace, Pittsburgh 650 magazine stash. 60s car ads are great. Oh, wow, that's cool. Yeah, exactly. As I just kind of talked about for 20 minutes. But yeah, the same thing got me a deal finder. I saw Kennedy and said, "Oh, Kennedy, I got to," there's certain people, right? Kennedy, Elvis, Marilyn, the Beatles, of course. Like if you see them on, you jump to it and you say, "It's got to be worth money because it's these people," but it's not always true. A lot of that stuff, especially after Kennedy's assassination, it was so incredibly commercially, it was printed in such amazing quantity. Everybody had those magazines, so there is no like real worth to it. Even the newspapers themselves, which I know a lot of people collect newspapers, and Man Walks on the Moon newspaper, and Elvis Dies, and Marilyn Dies, and they're not worth that much money because they were such big events that everybody kind of had something around it. Hey, Sarah, sold 2 phonograph ads. When? As I have my Victrola up here. CJ says hi, Sarah. You're very welcome, Deal Finder. I appreciate it. Yeah, you can carve that up, literally carve that up and make, I don't know what you spent on them, but I always use as a basic across the board, right? Across the board, guaranteed any decent magazine, commercially available magazine that you purchase, you will find at least 10 on the extreme low end to as many as 50 sellable ads within every magazine, regardless of the magazine, regardless of the year it was produced, regardless of anything else. Again, provided that they're in decent shape. You don't want to have mildew. We've talked about this 100 times too, but mildew is the enemy, and moisture is the enemy of paper in general, whether it's sheet music or artwork, of course, or these ads. So you want to make sure that they're in decent condition. I don't expect anybody. I certainly didn't go through 650 magazines one by one when we did that big purchase, but we did kind of eyeball and we grabbed a few, and we saw, consistency as far as condition. They weren't all perfect. I'm not expecting them to be perfect, but whereas most people are probably looking to sell the magazine, like we've talked about, I didn't care what the cover really looked like. I wanted to make sure inside was in good shape, and we just thumbed through probably like 50 of them, let's say, and they were all good. Sold, drove away happy. The guy was happy. He thought he was getting this pain in the neck thing. He had a whole room filled with these magazines. They are heavy too. Paper is heavy, I've learned. Hey, Susan, a lot of old mags, not sure. Well, that's totally up to you. Maybe you go through and see if there's a certain portion of them that you want to keep for sentimental reasons. To me, they're ephemera. They weren't meant to be around for 50 years necessarily, right? They were kind of periodicals of the time, and now they're little time capsules because they contain all the products. And in the case of Life, of course, you have stories too, which is great from all these different years. And what's the one that I was talking about before? The Colliers Weekly, which the oldest one I have is from the late 1896 or so through maybe 1910. They have amazing stories. They have little novels within. Really cool. So it's not just topical, like as far as news. They also have like short stories and essays and beautiful artwork inside. They're really time capsules. Boys Life magazines. Oh, cool. I couldn't give them away, so I took ads from early video gaming. There you go. Beautiful, Barbara. What's the cliche? Outside the box, right? So we'll say outside the cover. Beautiful. 1918. Sold them yesterday. Congratulations, Sarah. Yeah, absolutely, Deal Finder. Musical stuff sells great. We have one pulled up here still, right? The Victrola. Radio, you'll see when radio comes into play that the radio ads are very successful. Radio ads, not just for the radio, but then later on you'll see like radio show. Jack Benny, Groucho, Bing Crosby, even Lucille Ball did radio. Famous radio artists that did radio shows in the 30s and 40s. You'll see them promoting a certain brand of, usually RCA. Those are great sellers because you have a double-edged thing of the popularity of radio and then the underlying star that's promoting it. Winnie Crow, welcome. You knew there'd be some listing tonight. Yeah, just, it's been a few days and it's Friday night and the weather's lousy, as you know, over here, Winnie Crow. We had some wicked storms run through, so there'll be no barbecuing or anything here in my house tonight. We just figured we'd hunker down. My wife's baking and I'm listing. It's what we do. Winnie Crow, a very popular gal, rightfully so. Yeah, is that right, CJ? She could only enhance things, that's for sure. That's definitely for sure. Yeah, sure, record players, absolutely. And well before that too, Barbara. But yeah, certainly. Record ads for records, Columbia House, anything that had like record clubs, K-Tel, all that kind of stuff sells well too. Like latest 60s, 70s stuff sells great. Yeah, we had a monsoon. Exactly. I was so afraid that we were going to lose power and I wouldn't be able to do a show. But thankfully, now it's just steamy and humid and disgusting out. Bringing in new stuff. Very good. Cool. All right, let's get this. Wow, we are, almost an hour in. We haven't listed an ad yet, but that's okay. We're having great conversation. So let me just list this one. Pretty cut and dry. Like I said, we found out, Winter Crow. I'm sure you knew this, but you know his master's voice, the famous Victrola, RCA Victor icon, right, with the dog going like this, with the horn and the record player. His name is Nipper. Never knew that. So we have Nipper in the title here. Nipper's master's voice and records. We're going to sell this. The question earlier about pricing, this is, to me, is just kind of a standard ad. There's nothing spectacular about it, so it's going to be my base $15. So let it rip. Nipper is the dog. That's right, Winter Crow. I had to look that up. I said he looks like Petey from the Little Rascals to me. All right, let's create similar. There's one in the can for the evening. So welcome aboard, everyone. I'm glad you're spending some time with me on a Friday night on a 3-day weekend for most people. I hope you all have a 3-day weekend if you're working. For others. All right, let me see if we have any other full pages before I start going into the mini ads. Not really mini, but this magazine, what did I say? It's 16 by 11. Not every ad, this is just for new people. Just want to point this out because we discuss it a lot on this show when we're listening. Not all the ads are going to be full pages. A lot of them are split in half. Sometimes they're in quarter. Sometimes they're literally like an inch, 2 inch by 2 inches, especially those early, the turn of the century style magazines that we were listing a couple of weeks ago had tons of those things, and they're hysterical. There's a very popular field called quack medicine, and we had the guy, cures for balding, viral tonics to drink, all these crazy things. It's collectively known as quack medicine. Quack medicine ads sell very well. We have a quack medicine to go through tonight too, but those were all like literally, when I tell you small, they were like a 2 inch by 2 inch ad, and you might have had, you figure on one big sheet that's 16 by 11, you can get like, remember I said you'll have a minimum of 20 ads in every magazine? You might get 20 ads on that one page in this one. So, and again, just because they're so old and the stuff that's being sold in most cases doesn't even exist anymore, the products don't exist, it's tremendous. It's like a history lesson every time we do one of these shows. Here's, I want to make sure I didn't list this already because I could have sworn. I'm looking at the next ad that I want to bring up, but let me just make sure really quickly on my store that I didn't list this already. Because for some reason, what I do is once I list them, I delete the photo in my folder. It's still in my folder, and I just want to make sure that that wasn't inadvertently left in the folder when it should have been deleted. So hang on one second, everybody. Yes, see, I did list it. Good, I don't want to bring that up again. Isn't it amazing with all these ads, you believe it or not, when you see them, sometimes you remember them. Say, I did that one. All right, so let me get rid of that. It was for Simmons Beauty Rest, Simmons, 1923 Simmons mattress ad. Kind of cool. All right, here's another full pager. And Sarah Burns, who is listing from Spiegel, you were saying, right, Sarah? I think are you still listing from those Spiegel magazines? I'm just curious. Let us know. This is another super, super popular, like a mail order product. Montgomery Ward, like JCPenney used to have a magazine come out all the time, the new catalogs. This is an advertisement for a Montgomery Ward winter catalog. You can see right below. It says fall and winter catalog, yours for free. Montgomery Ward, a super famous store chain. Don't know if they're still around. Winter Crow can tell me. But you can see right at the top, it says the oldest mail order house is today the most progressive. And you have scenes from the Wild West up there. It looks like kind of like a Davy Crockett-esque figure there. On the magazine itself, it says Trailblazers. Oh, no, Trailblazers. It's probably Go West, young man. Lewis and Clark. Yep. So you have the Lewis and Clark exposition being referenced up top. Really nice ad. And this isn't, it's different. It's not advertising a product per se. It's advertising a catalog, which is kind of cool. And in fact, it's going to present a little bit of a challenge for me as far as a category because it's not a product per se. Like I said, it's a catalog. Let me just catch up with the chat again. Oh yeah, sure. You just mean in general, Deal Finder, or are you talking about like advertisement or just everything? I'm amazed when people pay for everything. Don't do folders anymore after laptop poofed using List Perfect. Oh, that's cool. You list in List Perfectly and then have them pushed out to eBay or Etsy or whatever else you're selling. Speaking of Etsy, I do have, I don't know, 100 of these ads cross-posted into Etsy. And again, this is what we just said earlier about numbers. Hello, Mrs. Flippett.
Hi.
How are you? Mrs. Flippett coming down with a big tray of cookies to decorate for everybody this evening.
For everybody?
For everybody. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. What was I just saying, everybody? Oh, List Perfectly. I don't use List Perfectly. I have a product called Vendu, which is kind of the same thing, cross-posting tool. And I like it a lot for cross-posting into Etsy. There's obviously different nuances with listing on different platforms. That goes without saying. eBay is my hub, and 99.9999% of my listings are on eBay. But we also list records on Discogs, which I can't cross-post with any of these tools because the platform isn't available on there. But Etsy certainly is. And I've cross-posted about 100, and I think I've sold 10, so like 10%. Much smaller sample size. But I just want to gradually, potentially cross-post. I wouldn't list just on Etsy any of these ads. I have other products that I absolutely list on Etsy. But as far as these ads, there is a little bit of a market for them over there because they're certainly vintage, and in this case, antique. You haven't listed ads, Montgomery Ward from 1900. Oh, okay, cool. Go get them, Sarah. Usually list while you're listening to the show, right? Newer ads. Yeah, sure. My newest, I mean, because everything is relative. And somebody alluded to earlier about the video game, like when mid-70s, whatever, when video games first started, Atari and all that stuff, and Pong. If you could find a 1975 Pong ad, there's going to be people that are, younger now, 30-year-olds or whatever, that love video games, that to them, that seems like ancient, and to them, that's a collectible, legendary thing. So they'll collect those. And then later on, when computing became in vogue and the internet first came on, I bet you there's people that would buy, AOL ad or something, something silly that everybody thought was just basic stuff. But that could be true if you were around in 1935 and you didn't think anything of whatever, a Studebaker ad from the time. It's like, oh, it's just a dumpy car that everybody has. But now it's like, if you're a car collector, oh my God, I got a 1935 Studebaker ad. It's collectible. It's the same thing. It's all relative. And with each passing day, all these things that most of us think are new are suddenly becoming older. It's very weird. You haven't tried Etsy? Yeah, not for me. Again, I can't speak for everybody. For me personally, I've cross-posted 100. Then I have I don't know how many. I think I have about 200 listings in total on Etsy. 100 of them are the ads. 100 of them are just other things. And sales trickle in now and then. They have a promoted marketing tool as well, which I think you are kind of brought into automatically unless you check out of it. Much to my chagrin, I found out about that. I got out of that. So I don't know. I don't have any traction in Etsy yet. I like the idea of it. It is pretty simple. They're hassle-free as far as, everybody talks about the glitches on eBay and all. And Etsy is pretty rock solid when it comes to that stuff. You don't see a lot of updates being pushed at you or anything like that. I know they did recently raise their rates as far as fees, which they announced, way in advance. And that's fine. Everything goes up. I think we all understand that. But Etsy is, I just like to have the option to have a couple of products. And it's always exciting to me when you get the rush from cha-ching on eBay, right? Well, when you have a certain quantity up and you're getting sales every day, you almost become, I don't want to say immune to it, but you're not as excited anymore. Whereas Etsy has a different sound, and it literally makes me jump because, if I get an Etsy sale a week, I'm excited, or 2 a week. Whereas if it was 1 or 2 a day on eBay, I'd be jumping out the window. Uh-oh, what are we yumming? Cookies. Oh, okay, yeah, cookies. Oh, one day we're going to have Mrs. Flippin on to talk cookies. We have a in-home bakery business for about 4 or 5 years, and she's an incredible artist. She does cookie art, and have a bunch of cookies that are due this weekend, so she's decorating them. I baked them today, and she is flooding them and decorating them tonight. Laptop issues. Okay, no problem, Winnicrow. We'll be here. I tried Macari, Susan, for about a month and despised it. I had one sale, and I don't even remember what the fiasco was, but there was some kind of issue with it right out of the gate and scams, and they took down some listings for me for no reason. And then I sent an email saying, "Hi, I'm a brand new seller. Why you take?" And the same thing, I used my Vendu cross posting tool to post. I don't know, same thing, about 100. I always like to just kind of gradually. I don't go all in. I want to experiment a little bit, especially with something as new as Macari that I don't know anything. And same with what's the other one? The clothes, Poshmark. I tried them all. I tried those two for a short period. I just didn't like Macari at all. I didn't like their customer service. I didn't like that they just pulled down my listings for no reason. And then they did apologize like a week later and said something about, to keep the integrity of all sellers in place. And, blah, blah, blah. And there was nothing. It was literally, what the heck was it? I'll have to look and see what the product was. But it was something it was a very benign product. So I bailed on them right away. And then I heard a lot of people complaining about Macari. So I just kind of bailed. I did try it briefly, though. LP has them all. LP. I'm sorry. I might be missing what that means, or probably just done so much talking that I forgot what we were talking about. So please remind me, Susan. Records, too. Yeah, records are a lot more labor intensive. I have tons and tons of records as well. We have a couple hundred listed. I have almost every estate sale we go to, I wind up coming home with a crate of new records. First of all, I love music. I love records. So I keep a handful of them, but we sell most of them. I have a professional record cleaning machine, which I do before. If I list an album, I'm not going to clean it until it sells, because that would be just time wasted. But as soon as it is sold, or a handful is sold, I'll spend a few minutes and I'll clean them nice, and I put them in new mailers that I have, liners, anti-static liners. And I always get a lot of great feedback on the records too. But records are easy to come by at estate sales for sure. Again, that's our prime sourcing venue, is estate sales, and that antique mall that I mentioned earlier, where they have thousands of records in, and they're usually in lousy condition, unfortunately. But records can make you some money. They're usually gotten very cheap, older records. 78s, forget about it. You could get a 78 for like 10 cents. But again, it's one of those things where you need to get a ton of them. And it's feast or famine with the 78s. Most of them are very run-of-the-mill, and they're not going to make you any money, but there's a handful that can make you a fortune. Winter Crow's been curb surfing again. Gamer Mags. Okay, cool. So there you go. So the younger kids, they'll be all excited about that, right? You hit another, area of, you tweak people's interests of different age groups, which is great. Oh, lists perfectly. LP, sorry about that. Yeah, I knew it was something silly. I'm like, why don't I get what that is? Yeah, so that's basically my story, Susan, with the cross-posting. The only one I'm stuck with is Etsy and Discogs, if you guys aren't aware. Discogs is Discogs. It's a great site for all things music, records, 78s. You could even sell CDs on there, and cassettes. It's a music lover's haven. I'm there all the time. Just research. It's a great research tool too. If you do come across a bunch of records at an estate sale or whatever, and you pick them up and you want to learn about them, you could look at the dead wax, for those of you who might not know, and you see matrix numbers, and you can look up those matrix numbers, and you can find out all sorts of information about your record. And you want to, the more information, like everything else, right? Information is king. The more information you have, especially with records, you want to accurately list them. If you have something that's, a more desirable cutting than another one, you want to kind of highlight that. And that's a great source. So go to Discogs, everybody. I also have a video about Discogs. You could sell, how to sell on Discogs. If anybody has some records and wants to know what to do with them. Look at Sarah, just a selling machine. I guess they are, Deal Finder. You got to photograph them, right? And, what I usually do with a record is the cover, the back, and then the label on both sides of the record. If it's a double album, that's 4 pictures. So like a minimum, you're talking like 2, 4, 6, at least 6 photos, probably some more if they have anything interesting inside. If it's a gatefold, you want to take a picture of that. If they have a nice inner sleeve that has artists on that, which a lot of them do. Really high for records. Sinatra records sell really well, but they're also a dime a dozen. And you have to be careful with Sinatra records and Elvis records, because everybody has cheap knockoff Elvis records and cheap knockoff Sinatra albums. But the real ones that they actually recorded and made as albums can sell very well based upon their condition. Obviously, the Beatles, goes without saying, sell great. Elvis, and then other things, like it's not just rock and roll. Blues records sell great, country records sell great. I just sold a lot. I had lotted up, I think 5 or 6 country records, Merle Haggard and Charlie Pride. There was like 3 or 4 artists that I just put together, and I sold it for like $30 or something. But again, they were like 50 cents each. So I sold them all together. That's a good way to, if you lot up albums, you can get rid of a bunch at once. Like I have one that I call the Crooners Collection, and it's like low-end crooners. Jerry Vale. No offense to Jerry Vale's family, but Jerry Vale, guys like that, crooners, and I just put them all together. Same thing, 5 or 6 at a time, and I called it the Crooners Collection and sold it for like $30 instead of going through the monotony of listing each one individually for like $6. It's not worth your time. Time is money. You need to check that one with my records. Check. Do you mean Discogs, Susan? Let me put a link in there for this, in case you guys don't know what that is. Because I didn't until fairly recently, a couple years ago. It's another great record site called PopPsych, Popsike. Really for research, great for research to find out what you have. There you go, everybody. That's the link for Discogs. And Susan, if you want, I do have a video about Discogs. I think there's only one. I might do more. If there's any interest, I could get a little deeper into it. But it's kind of like listing 101 for Discogs. It's a quick video. But it's a great tool to find out information about your records if you want to sell them on eBay. The great thing about Discogs is you don't need a photo to list them. So the listing process is incredibly simple. They have a catalog, like a library of hundreds of thousands of records that already are photographed. So you have the cover. So provided they're in decent condition and resemble the record that you're going to use as the stock photo, you're in. It's really simple. It's like you could list a record in 30 seconds, literally. So I highly suggest that, everybody. Go to Discogs. Great site. Always afraid they're scratched. Yeah. I try to test any email list. Oh no, that's not overkill. That's good business, Deal Finder. I do too. I absolutely do. I'm not going to list it if it's lousy. Grading records is an art form to itself. There are other sites that can help you with that too. But I would highly recommend, in general, be conservative when you're grading. If you think something is near mint, it's probably not. It's probably very good plus, especially on Discogs. The people that buy on Discogs are very well informed record buyers. They really know the ins and outs of all these records that they're interested in. Whereas eBay, typically you're not going to find that level of purchaser. They're probably just interested in, I want to get a Fleetwood Mac record. Oh, look, there it is. I'll buy it. On Discogs, they're a little more savvy and they know the ins and outs of the matrix numbers, like I said. And this listing was pressed in North Carolina. And this listing was pressed in London. And, so you want to be a little more aware on Discogs. I would recommend everybody go to Discogs. Like I said, just if you have a stack of albums, like I have thousands of them, sitting on the floor that you've been afraid to list, just pick one up, open it up, and just start the basic search. Charlie Pride. I like the early country stuff too. Who just said they like the early country stuff? I'm sorry, somebody wrote that they like the early country stuff, but it sells really. Yeah, Deal Finder. Yeah, pull out the album, just put the artist in the title. You'll see a million results come up, and then you can whittle down. You could look at the label, like Columbia Records, and it helps you. It's very intuitive. It's a great site, but it really can help you for listing. You don't have to list on Discogs, but you can get all the information off of it. You can even borrow some of the wording that they use because they'll get very detailed. You'll see the year it was, and often what the 78s, I don't know what year they were produced. They don't always have them on the label, so it's a great way to find out the year that a record was listed. And it's just tools for you to use, and you can just copy and paste into eBay or Etsy or whatever else you sell on. You're welcome, Susan. But yeah, Deal Finder, absolutely. I test everything too. I'm not going to sell it if it's junk. If it skips. Jeff, enjoy some dinner, man. All right, let's get this Montgomery Ward thing started, right? We have Montgomery Ward catalog. And again, I don't know what category this is going to go in. I don't know that I have any of these listed before. Here we go. Collectibles, advertising, retail stores, department stores. That works for me. That was easier than I thought it would be. And then my store category, I'll put it in, let's see, whatever I feel like putting it in. I actually don't know what category I'm going to put this in. Hang on, guys. Media. Okay. I found my internal. Brand is Montgomery Ward. Let's fill out our specifics. It's original. Print ad. That's what we're listing tonight. This is a black and white advertisement, which is what I put in for the color. Original. All of them original. This is 1923. It has not been modified. United States. The theme is department stores, right? Yep. And that's it. All right. And this is a full page, so it is the 16 tall by 11 wide. Now, we did mention at the top right of the issue that's being advertised here, which is what? Fall and Winter Catalog. It says 1923, 1924. We have Legendary Explorers Lewis and Clark up there. Yeah, isn't that a cool illustration? Winter, I agree. Got Lewis and Clark up there. You got like the wagon train up there, you know, Go West, Young Man, all that stuff. Again, we're going to hit on, you know, this is a great example of one of those type of ads whereas people might not be searching necessarily for an old advertisement from Montgomery and Ward catalog, there might be people that love to collect Old West items, and I know there are. Lewis and Clark Expedition, and it just hits a lot of different things that you wouldn't traditionally associate with, you know, a department store advertisement. So right out of the gate, we're going to put Lewis and Clark. Have an E in Lewis and Clark. Hold on. No, none of them. So I'm going to put Lewis and Clark Expedition, which is pretty much going to take up the lion's share of my title. There we go, 6 to spare. That's a huge selling point here. If I had any more characters, I'd probably put Old West, but it looks like I'm going to be short there. Yes, it does, Winter Crow. It says Lewis and Clark at the top. I'll try to blow that up for everybody in a minute. Right under him, it says, yeah, I can blow this up for everybody. Let me go back to my screen share. I'll take this down for just a moment, and I'll pull up the zoomed in version of that advertisement for everybody. Here you go, Winter Crow. It's still kind of small, but right here it says Lewis and Clark, Blazing the Oregon Trail, 1804, 1805. So let's see, 120th anniversary of the Lewis and Clark expedition. I don't know if that's being mentioned here necessarily, that it's an anniversary issue or anything, but it's just Trailblazers is what it says. I wonder if it ties in with when Montgomery Ward was first in business, because it does mention the oldest mail order house is today the most progressive. Let's take a little look at the ad itself. You can see it was a free issue. You just had to send that coupon in down there, and as short as a week, probably 10 days, there you go. Bam, you'd have your Montgomery Ward. Away we go. But it is a great illustration. Look at that. I love the wagons up top. You can probably see that a little better now. Like some homesteads down here. Of course, Lewis and Clark going on the cover. This is a good one. Very original. History buffs will love it. It's going to tick a lot of boxes, which is a good thing. Nothing better to me than when an advertisement goes beyond the product. It goes into other things that we talked about, dogs earlier. In this case, you have the whole, historical. Do you keep the ad magazine till sold, or you go ahead and cut it out? How do you see it in inventory? No, they're all cut out prior, because what I do is, like, if you probably see the pictures, I scan everyone individually. So each ad is scanned on a professional flatbed scanner at a high DPI, so that we could do blow-ups like this and show everybody. So they're all cut out, and then I put them in a clear plastic bag, which is listed. If you look at the description in this video, you'll see a link to the actual bags I use, because a lot of people have asked me about them. So I just went ahead and linked it, and there's a coupon code, which I don't get paid for. So Don't worry about that. It's just a coupon code that the company was kind enough to give me. And it helps you guys save if you're interested in buying them 10%. But they're really good because they fit everything. They fit every magazine that I've had. I guess it would have to exceed almost like 18 inches length to not fit in them. But that's what I do. I just store them in those things. And I talked about this earlier in the show, but I have my own internal SKU system that I use to identify Life versus McCall's versus Colliers versus Good Housekeeping versus whatever the magazine name is. And then I keep them all to my left in a couple of tall file cabinets. No, I don't sell the scan. I sell the original. World Pioneering, 1872. There you go. Oh, they did go out of business. I didn't realize that. No, I sell the original ads. Imagine if you could sell the scan. That would be nice. Then you'd never have to, I wonder who would buy a scan. But anyway, yeah, I sell the actual ads, Susan. And I mail them in those same plastic things. If you take a look at that link, if you have a moment, when the show's done, you'll see what I'm talking about. They're just clear plastic bags, thin bags, but they keep out the moisture and the dust, and they keep them nice and straight and safe. Oh, they're just an online business. Interesting. Well, in a lot of ways, the equivalent of an online, it's a mail order, which is kind of like the online of the day, obviously, right? Mail order stuff. Okay, let's pull in the advertisement again. There we go. Pull it up in StreamYard. Bam. All right, so yes. Hey, Lori, how are you? Watching on TV and listening. There you go. So that's what I love to see. Sarah's usually good for that too. Usually watches the show and lists at the same time. That's part of the motivation here, is to get everybody, well, not part of the motivation. It's part of the idea here behind me doing these shows, is to motivate you to list along with me, because it's less lonely when you're listening with other people and talking shop, right? So welcome aboard, Lori. Good luck tonight. I hope you get a lot of stuff listed. Let me see. I think I pretty much filled out everything. Yeah, Pioneer. Let me see if that fits. No, it doesn't. Shoot. We'll do the ampersand instead of and. All these little tricks of the trade, everybody, to try to maximize characters on the title. Look at that, Winnie Crow. Proud of me? Got Pioneers. There you go, Susan. Good. See, it's contagious, right? I mean, it's good to listen and all, but yeah, it kind of, I know if I'm watching people do this, I get pumped up and I want to start listing stuff too. But it's very productive, right? It's a win-win for everybody. Still trying to learn about what I do. I have a bunch of ephemera that I'm afraid to touch. I hear this a lot. What is everybody afraid of? I'm just curious. Why are you afraid? And I'm not picking on you, Lori. It's just that a couple of people said the same thing. Like, I have piles of magazines. I don't know where to begin. I have piles of magazines, and I'm afraid to cut them up. Like, what are we afraid of specifically? That you're not going to know what you're doing, that you're going to make a mess? Like, Lori, and I'm sure you've watched. If you watch my series, I kind of go through everything, every single aspect of this process. And maybe it'll take some of that anxiety away, about what to do with them, about where to keep them, about how to cut them out, about how to keep them neat. So check it out if you haven't checked it out. But I'm just curious what people are afraid of. Recycling and playing Ever. I don't know what EverQuest is, but sounds cool. Yeah, I know. We do. Me too, Sarah. Obviously, I'm the number one learner because you guys bring so many interesting things to the table. The ads themselves, of course, like I said, it's kind of like a little time capsule. Afraid of the unknown. Uh-oh. You know what you know? You know it's just a magazine. Nothing to be afraid of. It's a magazine. It's going to have paper in it. It's going to have advertisements in it. So just pick one up at random and slice it up. And behold the wonders within. My first thing was to sell an old ski lift ticket from New York in the 60s. Oh, that is cool. Oh, yeah. What a great example of something really, what was another thing? The ice skating rink things, those labels sell well. Luggage tags sell. Brochures, travel brochures, all those things we consider ephemera. Old coupons, you know what doesn't sell well, much to my chagrin, that I thought might? the green stamps, like a ration, like during World War II, they used to give out green sheets of paper that were like rations, a little ticket, that you get to get some spam if you have a ticket. I thought those things would sell really well because my grandfather had a bunch of them that he gave to me, and they stink. They don't sell well at all. But those are the kind of things, like Sarah just said, baseball tickets, concert tickets. What sells really well that I wouldn't rip up? That is a sort of a magazine, but if you go to a concert and you get a program from a concert from a renowned artist, those sell really well. I sold a couple of McCartney ones that I'd seen Paul McCartney on some tours, sold them for really good money because they were only available if you went to the concert. So if anybody has any of those from old shows they might have been to, they're great things to sell. Yeah, the tickets, right. Yep. I thought they would be worth, especially if they were unused, but unfortunately, at least the research I did, they weren't worth a lot. And they had, who's saying, I think you were saying it, Susan, right? Like certain things going to have a bit of nostalgia for you personally because they were my grandfather's and they represent something important that he lived through. I kind of don't want to just give them away for nothing. If they're worth a lot of money, great. But, for $10 for like a sheet of 100, nah, I'll keep them. You just sold most of your vintage magazine to someone who's probably making some bucks. Yep, unfortunately. That's okay. It's okay, Lori. Not the first time I've heard that story. Won't be the last either. And honestly, up until about 3 years ago, I probably would have been the exact same boat. I would have thought, hey, I'm getting rid of a bunch of junk for, whatever amount of money and clearing up space to buy more useless junk. But then I found out that they're worth a fortune. And the good news also, Lori, is you can get a bunch back. People have sold off. I was talking about my big 650 magazine score a couple of years ago in Pittsburgh of Life magazines. And if they were all to be burned in the fire, God forbid, tomorrow, I know somebody else will have another stack. It might not be 650, but it might be 100, or it might be 50, or it might be 150, or it might be 300. And you could build up a collection really quickly by just buying in bulk. Try to buy stacks. What? Susan got bad feedback because someone complained about what? That's the guy that I bought the 650 magazines was doing a jig when I pulled away in my van or my Jeep with all that stuff because we were clearing up a ton of square footage in his house. But the fool didn't realize that he just gave away, a treasure. But not everybody wants to put in that time. We've talked about that a lot too. This is not. It's a labor of love. Let me tell you, it's not going to just happen by itself. You're not going to open a magazine and they're all going to fall out perfectly and get listed by themselves. There's a lot of elbow grease that goes into it, and you definitely have to be like any product you sell in bulk. You have to be organized and have a system to keep everything, recorded. And when they sell, you got to be able to find it, and you got to send them the right ad. And in my case, you got to send it the same day or at the most one day. Cut out of a magazine pattern. Charge too much, $7. What was the complaint about, Susan? Just want to give us a magazine pattern. Okay. Oops, Sarah. I'm sorry, I missed the long. Oh, patterns. Okay. Christmas Bazaar stuff, 100 patterns was taken up. By the way, patterns themselves sell really well. I'm sure everybody knows that. And that's something that would sell good on Etsy. We were talking about Etsy earlier, but old sewing patterns sell great. McCall's sewing patterns, we have tons of those too. My wife's grandmother, who's still alive, God bless her, 99, she just turned 99 in March, was a seamstress by trade for many years. And she has, I can't even give you a quantity, but thousands and thousands of patterns. She used to make her kids her own clothes all the time. And she gave us them. And not all of them are in great condition, unfortunately. The paper it's very, very frail, the paper. But some of them are really, really good, and they definitely go for money. 5 pages, wow. All right, let's say goodbye to Lewis and Clark. They're going on another expedition out to the public to be sold to me. This one's a little cool, so we're going to go up. Back to the pricing question. We're going to go up a little bit on that one just because it's a bit of a novelty. It's not a cut and dry ad necessarily. List. I'm sure you guys know this, but I'll bring it up because I almost fell victim of it right now. See how it's spinning still, my listing? There you go. Oof. It times out after a few minutes. I don't know what the exact time is. Probably like 10 minutes. If you have a listing up there that you're working on and you don't hit submit after like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it'll time out on you and you'll lose everything. So in the middle of me gabbing there, I just wanted to make sure I got this out so we didn't have to start all over. But it looks like we're good. You'll get that spinning circle. It'll just keep spinning. All right, Lewis and Clark. I'll give it to you. What else we got? I think that was the last of the full pages for this magazine, the full page ads. So we will go down to some smaller ones. Here's one for Winnie Crow. She'll get a kick out of this. Patterns and other crafts from eBay to Etsy. Yep. Yeah, I think that's a good call. Or if not necessarily move them, like just cross-list them. If you're using List Perfectly or whatever, cross-listing platform. Or if you can just, again, I don't think it's that big of a deal. If you don't have that many listings, it's not the only reason anybody uses these programs is so they don't sell on one platform and then forget to take it off of the other one, and it sells twice, and then you have to eat crow, so to speak, win a crow. But yeah, okay, cross-listed, cool. Yeah, cross-listing. I don't really fear that I don't have that fear of, oh my God, it's going to sell on eBay and I'm going to forget to take it off Etsy. Like that's why I don't have that many on Etsy. I only have about 100, which is really, a small amount compared to over 3,000, and then a couple of hundred on Discogs. But it's a nice thing. If you have a lot of volume, if you're cross-listing or cross-posting everything, then certainly I would recommend a product like that to keep you, organized with that so that you don't make that mistake. But again, knock on wood. I haven't had a problem with that, but I do like this Vendu. I think they're all kind of the same. Is it something dead? Oh, hold on. No. Yeah, you're gonna like this one, Winnie Crow. Yeah, it removes. List Perfectly does that automatically when it sells on the other platform, because the thing about Vendu, it's great. But like, let's say I have we'll just use the ads because we're doing this. If this ad sells and I have it cross-posted on Etsy, the second it sells, I have to go into Vendu manually and mark the item as sold, indicate what platform it was sold on. So I would it's a drop down just like this. I would just say sold, drop down, eBay, and then it will remove it. Once you put in the fact that it's been sold and indicate the platform it was sold on, it'll automatically remove it from whatever other platforms you have it cross-posted to. So it's not automated like I would like. The ideal situation would be it sells on eBay. You don't have to do anything. It just takes them down. I have to go in and manually intervene just to that extent. I have to say, yes, this item sold. It's sold on Etsy. It's sold on eBay, whatever platform, and it'll automatically remove it from the other ones, which is kind of cool. We don't pick on you. All right, yeah, this one's for Winnie Crow. It's for everybody, but I think Winnie Crow will get a kick out of it. Here we go. Now, we just talked about earlier how some of the ads are smaller, right? This is, I think it's a 3-inch wide, 3 or 4 inch. I'm going to have to go back, but I think it's like a 3.5, 4-inch wide by 7 inches tall. This ad. It is for Listerine, everybody. Halitosis. Why did he leave her? Look at this poor woman. She looks so depressed. The guy left her because of bad breath, ladies and gentlemen. Hygiene and drama, exactly. Mother never gets to take a bath, and guys leave because of halitosis. That's how it was in the 20s, everybody. We joke, but she's got a pearl necklace on. I think she's sporting a bob cut. Am I right there, Winnie Crow? From previous episodes? Listerine, halitosis. I don't know if there's a term, but it's obviously male chauvinist. There's a lot of that going on. Up until pretty recently, in the 70s too. And I might start putting that in. I don't know if anybody has any suggestions, I would appreciate it. But I want to put that into my title somehow with some of these because it's so blaringly obvious, like male chauvinistic or something. But I don't know. I'm thinking about it. There's enough of them that it's justified to me. And there might be people that literally look for that. I don't know. But anyway, the thing is, you have a depressed gal on a couch. Why did he leave her? And it's a ad for Listerine. Sexist, yeah, sexist would work too. But as we've seen, we're joking Winnie Crow, but that it's ridiculous just how some of these are like unbelievable that they said these things and printed this stuff, you know? So I think, yeah, Sexist might work. First of all, go back down to our regular price. And I do need to modify my dimensions, which we talked about earlier. So this one is I'm going to put 4-inch wide by, tall, 7 inches tall, 4 inches wide. Just so there's no problem with that. This is from 1923 McCall's magazine, Monochrome. So let me put in Listerine. See what the category pops up for. Health and beauty ads. Yeah, that's fine. Hey, Lake Erie, what's going on? What'd you say? I've been done for a lot less than Bear, but yeah, I know, it's hysterical. Ooh, look at Lori, misogyny. Yeah, ironically, right? A ladies' magazine went across. What's that? What's going on with that? Not looking out for each other, but she is sporting a bob cut, right? Is she what's the other word for them 20s? The girls, the clap. Is she a clapper? Flapper, excuse me. Do you do anything more current or all 20s to 60s? As far as ads, I go from 1896, I think, is the oldest one, up until 70s. That's what I have. That's just because that's what I have. It doesn't mean I'm adverse to selling newer ads. It's just that's what I have. Like, I have all older ones. I could go out and buy, whoever said earlier about the, 1979 Atari ad, I would sell that, 1982, 1984 Michael Jordan sneaker ad would probably sell really well. I don't care when it's from. It's just the majority of what I have is from those years. It's a good span of time, though. It's like 80 years of time. A flapper, right, Lori? Okay, cool. Yeah, so we might put the flapper in there. There's a couple of cool keywords we like to do with these 20s gals. Listerine, finished print ad, put flapper. What do we say? Bob cut, I think we put. Halitosis is being mentioned. I really am tempted to write sexist to some. Oh, Roaring 20s, says Susan. That's not a bad deal. That's not a bad idea. But then again, that could be in literally every ad that I do, right, from this magazine. Let me, before I keep building, what I usually do is I'll put, just again, for everybody who's coming on new, I put the product name in first, right? We try to establish a category based on what the product is, which we've done. And before I start putting in all these keywords, I like to go in down here and do the item specifics, because if we put in too many keywords, you could lose certain items that have to be added. So let me just do this really quick. It's original. It's always the same thing, pretty much. It's black and white. As you see in the 20s, is the dominant form of print is black and white. It's very few color ads then. The 30s, they start picking up. And in the 40s, for sure, after the Great Depression, then you start switching where the majority of stuff is in color. It's very vivid and beautiful, actually. 1923. United States. And what's our theme? Health and beauty. Yes, health and beauty indeed. All right, so we have the flapper, we have the bob cut. Make women more aware of their social failings. Yeah, I know, and you see this all across the board, right? And tons of products, and it's unbelievable. The skinny guy who was in Charles Ackley. Exactly. Yep. So I don't know if sexist, I mean, although it's appropriate, I'm looking for a catchphrase like that. Misogyny, whatever, said, male chauvinist. But if I do that, I'd have to go back. I have a lot of ads that are like this, and I'd probably be tempted to put that in all of them. And if I do that, I'm going to have to lose some. It just creates a lot more work. I'm just thinking out loud, actually, everybody. But when you see a trend like this of certain things, maybe, everybody nowadays puts in mid-century modern for everything, whether it is or not. I don't know why, but if that's in vogue right now, that's what people are doing. It's kind of the same thing. Like flapper is just popular for 20s girls, and the sexist kind of advertisement is very prevalent at this time. And I kind of wanted to come up with a term or something to kind of put them all in a category, because there's a lot of them. He-Man, yeah. It's so sad when you read the story. It's like a soap opera, actually. She had met him only that evening, and on Margaret's part, at least, it was love at first sight. Tall, dark, and handsome. Women simply raved about him wherever he went. Margaret was all a thrill when he asked her to dance. And what a glorious dance it was. My God, they write this like it's like reading the Cinderella book. What did he not see in her? Unbelievable. So basically, yeah, make sure you use deodorant and mouthwash, girls. That's the gist of this advertisement. Otherwise, you're going to be just like Margaret. Woe is me. Do you think we should mention pearl necklace? Anybody? If you look at the blow up, it kind of looks like a pearl necklace, but I'm not positive. Let me check something really quickly here. I want to thank everybody. We just hit 600 subscribers, so we're getting there. 4 months. Got to get to 1,000. Just crossed the 600 threshold. So thank you, everybody. Yeah, you like pearls, right? I do too, Susan. I think that's noteworthy. So I'll probably put that pearl instead of pearl necklace, just put pearls, I think. Okay. That. Thank you, Winnicrow. Pearls is okay, huh? Necklace isn't going to do it. Jewelry, maybe. Hideous dress. Yeah. Hold on. I'm sorry. I missed some of the chat here. When I was at my last job, there was a client who was a descendant of a guy who invented Listerine. Really? Holy cow. Wow. That's something. We've got to look up the history of Listerine. I know we've talked about this before, wasn't it? It was originally like an analgesic, is that what they call it? To clean like surgery tools. How that wound up in people's mouths, I'll never understand, but that's actually what it was initially. You know, when you go to the barber and they put the combs and that blue stuff, it wasn't too far removed from that. Holy cow. Somebody thought, hey, I bet if we swish this around our mouths, if we don't die, our breath will smell good. Okay. Pearls. And what is the actual tagline here? Why did he leave her? Maybe I'll put that in. Why did he leave? Forget the pearls. There we go. Hey, case at each, Dawn. My paisan from Canada. Welcome aboard. You're just in time. Hi, Dawn. How are you? Dr. Lister. That's right, Winnicrow. Didn't you look him up? My paisan. Tidy bowl. Yeah, probably the same thing. Probably all the same compound, Winnicrow. A lot of alcoholics can't use stuff like Listerine because there's alcohol. Yeah. And I know they do sell, I don't know about Listerine specifically, but Scope and stuff. Don't they have like alcohol-free Scope and all that stuff now? Well, thank you, Lori. Thank you. Yeah, we all learn collectively about this stuff. But I remember from a previous show that Listerine was literally created to clean like surgical tools or dental tools or something. Disinfectant properties. Good stuff. All right, let's list this one. We have a lot of ads, and we've listed like 2 in 2 hours. That's all right. Good, Dawn. I'm glad you're doing well. Hopefully you're getting a little shut-eye. All right. Good old Flapper. We've used Flapper quite a bit in these 20s ads. Poor gal. Okay. I guess sticking with, let's see. We have a few of these style ads, not sexist, but like, what Let's see. Which one should I go to? And then you'll know what I'm talking about. All right, we'll go to this one. It's a nice looking illustration. You just got up. Right on. Better than the prior uses of Lysol. Uh-oh. Dawn has a story about Lysol. Well, I hope you had a good nap. All right. This one, everybody, is for a soap called Resinol. Resinol soap, which I see all the time in these older ads. It must have been a very popular brand. Resinol soap, ladies and gentlemen. And the girl at the top, sporting a beautiful big hat, staring at a sundial, which is kind of interesting. And we're going to be using sundial in this ad because how often do you get to put a sundial in your advertisement? Thank you very much. You're welcome very much. I'm glad you did. And now you're rearing to go, right? Raring to go. So help us out. Okay, this is Resinol soap. So let's put Resinol. Soap. We'll go to soap and detergent. Earl Squirrel, what's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. Still in Colorado? I have to ask every time. It's mandatory. Whenever you come on, we have to find out your whereabouts. We're having a lot of fun tonight, Earl Squirrel. We're listing some old ads from 1923. I'm working on a Resinol soap ad right now. I think there's definitely a lot to talk about in this one. So let's quickly fill out these boring specifics that are necessary. So we can have a little fun with the ad itself. Yeah, Resinol. There's a few brands that are definitely no longer in business that were very popular back then. And they're very, very, not just popular as far as a product, but they're advertised so frequently. Hygiene always being, huge consideration for mankind. So I can understand why. Just drop something. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. Got all the silly stuff out of there. Let's go the same dimensions, the 7x4. See how it's like a lot narrower. Okay, let's see. Where's she going? Still in Colorado. Oh, are you really? Congratulations. That's awesome. What are you going to be selling on there? And if you want to put a link in, let me know. If you can't do it, just tell me what it is, and I'll put it down for everybody. Everybody's on the Whatnot. I wonder if I could sell my ads on Whatnot. Don't think I haven't thought about it, folks. I'm definitely thinking about records on Whatnot. Get out of here, Dawn, right? Are you serious? I did not know that. Yeah, what is it, a link? I don't really know. Is it called a page? What is it called when you have a Whatnot account? Susan asked, do I charge shipping? I absolutely do charge shipping. Susan, I have a flat rate shipping model for my ad. Again, when we're talking about ads, yes. I actually charge shipping on everything. I can't think of anything I ship for free. But I have a business policy in place for the ads. It's a flat rate of $4.50. And if you buy 2 or more, it's free shipping. I have an ongoing promotion with that. So if people buy 2 of these ads, they get free shipping on them. And there's no limit to that. So they can buy 100 ads and I would ship them for free. But it's $4.50 per. They go out first class. $4.50 covers my charge anywhere. I'm on the East Coast, obviously, and don't you know, I'm sure everybody has the same problem, but it's not a problem, but it always seems like the biggest, heaviest items that I sell, of course, the buyers in California or Hawaii, the worst possible, most expensive place to ship. But the $4.50 for the ads covers everything. They only weigh 7 ounces. I think up to like 3 or 4 ads with the plastic thing that I put it in and with the mailer comes out to 7 ounces. So they're all. I could probably fit 20 ads in there and it would still be first class. And $4.50 covers it across the country. So yes, I do charge shipping. Tonight I'm doing vintage 90s. Hey now, Earl Squirrel. There we go. Doing right. What time do you start the festivities, Earl Squirrel? I know you're a couple hours behind me, so it's 7:50 here. You get California and Mississippi, yeah. And people have alluded to the fact that it's the most populous state, so obviously you're going to find a lot of buyers in California. I get that. But it's Murphy's Law. Like, if you sell a 20-pound, and not that I make a habit of doing that, but every once in a while I sell something that's 20 pounds or something heavy. Every single time the buyer is in California, or Oregon, or, wherever's furthest away from me. Winter Crow intrigued. Royal Squirrel. What time is showtime? 7 Mountain. Okay, so that's what, 9 our time. So a little over an hour. That's really exciting, Royal Squirrel. I will probably tune in for that. Unless I'm still listing, which is very probable. But that's really good. Congratulations. I hope you do really well. Hope you have a bunch of followers. I know the name of the game is getting people into your show, right? That's getting into your auction. I guess that's the hardest thing. But if you have a good following, it's a great... a lot of the people that are succeeding on there are people that already have a following, be it on YouTube or eBay or whatever. They could bring over a ton of people. And if you're just starting from scratch on it, it's got to be pretty difficult to get anybody to find your auction. That's what I'm afraid of. We talked earlier about what are you afraid of with magazines? My fear on Whatnot is, what if I sit here like an idiot with hundreds of records or whatever and all ready to roll, and 5 people show up and you do these silly 30-second auctions at $5 or whatever, $1. You could lose your shirt really quickly. And then you're obligated to ship them for free, I believe, right, Rose Squirrel? Or really, really cheaply. Can never spending any excitement. Also gotten a couple t-shirts stained in holes. Oh, that's not cool. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. That's the there's a bunch of, it's just unknown, like everything. It's new, it's relatively new. It's all the rage now. I know that, but there are pros and cons with everything, Susan, right? You're welcome, Roswell. Really, I really wish you great luck. Let's know how it goes. Hope you make a bunch. All right, let's get back to our lovely lady in her hat. First of all, what kind of hat is she sporting over here, ladies and gentlemen? Do we know? What kind of a hat is that? Is that a hat of distinction? Is that a hat that we need to mention in the title? I'm not sure. Again, we got a sundial, very unique item to have in any kind of ad. So the sundial's going in there. It's right after Coca-Cola ads. The most popular thing people collect on the planet is sundial. Oh, just kidding. Oh, buy pay shipping. Yeah, it's awesome. Darn. Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing, is I hear it's addicting. Like it's like pulling a lever in a slot machine or something. You can never stop. And I don't know. I hope Royal Squirrel sells tons of stuff. 90s. Sunday hat or church hat. What a great answer there, Lake Erie. I'm not sure. I don't know if there's a... It certainly looks like it could be, yeah. That's true. I just always defer to the ladies with this one. We have a couple of ringers, especially Winter Crow. Annie, who is, again, AWOL. Poor Annie. I hope she's doing all right. They're usually absolute professors when it comes to fashion stuff. Sun hat, says Winter Crow. All right. And you know what? It makes sense. Sun hat, sundial, right? But then we got sun in there twice. All right. We'll break from tradition once. A Merry Widow hat. Ooh. It does look like a church hat, though, like Lake Erie said. It's not a colossal, which was a popular hat. Okay. Shipping on there is crazy. They don't combine to pay, and lots of $1 pays on my checking account. Oof. Yeah, I'm not dying to get over there anytime soon, but of course I'm intrigued, like everybody else is, especially when you hear the success stories, and hopefully Royal Squirrel will be amongst those success stories. But a lot of friends in the industry here on eBay are doing really well. I just think it's really cool that she's selling something like 90s. You hear everybody selling comics and toys and baseball cards and all these super popular things now. So it's good to know that you could sell other normal, relatively normal things. Think of your first view of Kate. Yeah, exactly. Right. It looks incredibly Edwardian, doesn't it? Grandma's hat, says Susan. I would like, if at all possible, to get away from saying sun hat, only because we just had sundial, sun hat. That's a waste of a keyword. So we will either go with, we say Grandma's hat is kind of cool. Church hat is actually very good too. Dawn saying the Merry Widow hat. Church hat is good too. Let's do church hat. This is, again, I was going to say springtime, but we're in September here. It's a September ad. Let's read a little bit. What does it say? You ever wonder how you're going to look 10 years from now? If your complexion will retain its youthful radiance and natural glow for health? Let Resinol soap solve your problem. Resinol soap. I'm just trying to see if they make any indication of what the pictures are, but they don't. I guess, you know, sundial, time, where you see yourself in 10 years kind of thing. How can we word that? What is time doing to your skin? Time doing skin. Remember, I say it over and over, but it doesn't have to make sense grammatically. It doesn't have to be a sentence. You just need a series of keywords that people will hopefully search for to find your ad. So even though that looks idiotic, what is time doing skin? I'm not writing a sentence. One thing you will say for selling comics or ephemera, it's probably better to do lots. Right? Yeah, I would totally agree, Dawn. And our boy Popeye, right? He's selling lots of, he's doing great on there with his postcards, which he has millions and millions of. And he's selling big old lots of them. It's like kind of dummy free, you know? Here's a stack. I love that. I mean, he's the poster child for this, the potential success of a product like this, because he has so much volume, so easy to ship, so tiny. It's a home run for him. Lots of shoes selling. Yeah, oh, definitely. That's also lots not paying, so getting kicked out. Yeah, right. And who's policing all this? What recourse do you have if you don't get paid, or if you're a buyer, if you don't get your item? You know, that's so what you will about eBay. At least there's policies in place to protect you to some extent anyway. Whereas these newer platforms that are, you know, who Don said, the Wild West, it kind of is a little bit. It's like the Wild West with some of this stuff, like Facebook Marketplace. There's no real accountability necessarily. Realize a large number of your customers will also be, yeah, absolutely, trying to get, right, hoping that the timer runs out. Like Popeye, again, I would love to buy a bunch of his stuff, you know, for dirt cheap. And start a little postcard dynasty of my own. Yeah, yeah, she looks like she's contemplating. Victorian advice. Ooh, interesting. Grandma's Sunday sun hat. There you go. We'll get them all in there, right? Hi, Michael Gardner. How are you? Welcome aboard. Thanks for joining. We're doing 1923 magazine, Michael. Moving and grooving. A lot of great conversation tonight. Time passing in youth, yes. Popeye made like 14,000. That's just unbelievable. And do you realize how much he, like, I don't mean to keep harping on it, but the quantity of postcards he has at least 1 million. He probably has 2 million postcards, at least. You're doing good, great. Listing postcards in the magazine. Very cool, very cool. Lori comes back, and well, that's what you're going to hear on the show. You're always going to hear completely out of the blue comments. And yeah, Death by Sundial. That sounds like a great name for a novel or something, doesn't it? Isn't that a Stephen King book, Death by Sundial? The water's going down too well tonight. Bottle number 3. Yeah, Lori, we have a, let me pull the picture up for Lori because she just came back from something. You're allowed to take a break. See this chick right here? Sporting the Grandma Sunday church hat. We've come up with like 25 words for this hat. It would be a good name for a band, Michael. Got this lady looking at a sundial, contemplating life. What is time doing to your skin? Asks the ad.
I was like, what are you talking about? A sundial?
Yeah, the ad, she's looking at a sundial. I'm like, you don't see a sundial in that. And it's the whole,
no, it's definitely a sundial.
The nature of the ad is, what is time doing to your skin? in 10 years where you have that radiant glow. So she's like kind of contemplating.
But she's wearing a hat. So
She's wearing a hat. She's wearing a sun hat. That's what we were just talking about.
Okay. Go make my lemon.
Go make your lemons. You saw that. Yeah, it's kind of cool, right? All right, let's get rid of this one. Enough of the sundial. Fly free. Make me money, Ed. The other the obvious incredible thing about Whatnot is the immediacy. You know, how you could sell in Popeye's case and hopefully in Royal Squirrel's case in an hour's time. You could sell unbelievable. And there's no time limit, is my understanding too, right? You could just sit there all night, theoretically, and sell your stuff, and it's instant, provided they do buy, provided they pay and all that good stuff that we just mentioned. But in a perfect world, my God, you could move so much products instantly, you know, instantly. Not have to list like we're doing, the slowpoke method, but so therein lies my intrigue in the product. But I don't know. I'm going to be one of those people. I don't have a hoard of postcards like some people to sell, or I would definitely be out there. All right, what is next? We're going to stick with this whole idea of personal hygiene and whatnot with, let's see, this one. By Menon. Remember Menon, the commercial for Menon? Well, this is Menon baby powder, except it's not called baby powder. It's called Menon borated talcum powder. Look at this. Summer's heat abets your baby's deadly enemies. That's right. We have Menon borated talcum, commonly known nowadays as baby powder. You could throw yourself on a sundial. Death by sundial. Have a good night, Winter Crow. Thanks for joining. Winter Crow is off. Exhausting day. Hey, Rootin, what's going on, man? Boric acid. It's got to have boric acid. Any good powder is going to have boric acid in it, right? Have I thought of selling bulk ads? Yeah, that would be my thing, I guess. And records. I have the two biggest quantity of things I have are these ads and records. But like I said, I don't know. Is there going to be a demand to buy a? I don't know. I have to watch other people a little bit longer, get some feedback as far as what people were alluding to earlier. Is that, you know, the policing aspect of it. Like, what if somebody doesn't pay? You're just out. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know all those particulars yet. You know, I am intrigued. Like I'm sure a lot of us are, right? Especially when you see, like I said, buddies or people you watch and admire or whatever succeeds, you know, $14,000 in a couple of weeks for very little effort, relatively speaking. If you think about it, you fire up a camera, and most people I think have it like overhead or whatever, and you just finagle on a table and going once, going twice. Here's a, you know, Menon baby powder ad. It's kind of cool to be able to just do that and just bang them out one by one by one by one. But my fear is, what if 3 people show up, you know? 3,200 postcards that you bought online have not opened, really? You checked out 1,600. From there, the same seller, so they're good and on there. From the same seller, so they're good and on there. Oh, okay, good. You would likely, yeah, potentially, right. Like, you know, you guys probably have seen Mr. Buys a lot. I met him a couple of years ago. He's a very nice guy. About a year and a half ago, I went up to his warehouse. He lives about an hour and a half north of me, and I hung out with him a little bit. But he kind of has been doing this for, you know, a couple of years on YouTube. He does primarily sell to other resellers. You know, just incredibly. He has a huge warehouse of bulk items of everything under the sun, and he goes on, I think, 3 times a week and just sits there and rakes in the cash for stuff that he buys, you know, for pennies, and sells them to other resellers, including me. I bought some stuff from him. I bought some movie posters from him about a year ago for, I think they're like $5 a piece. So it's the same exact idea. I'm sure he would do really well on it. I'm surprised he hasn't done it. I guess there's no incentive if he's doing it on YouTube for literally for free, for nothing more than the cost of a PayPal fee. I don't know what the fee structure is. Maybe you guys can tell me on. I have no idea what it is on whatnot. Payment on there is immediate, so if it doesn't go through the buyers, oh, okay, that's a good thing. And it's PayPal, I guess, usually, right? You got 4,000 from the same guy. Nice. He did a record auction. Yeah, that's something I would definitely be interested in because again, I have almost nothing into them. And I wouldn't mind moving. We just joked earlier about how people get rid of these huge magazine lots or whatever, right? To make space, to get them out of my face kind of thing. I could actually, you want to talk about a quick way to get rid of a lot of records and save yourself some work. Now, you won't make the amount of money you might make potentially by selling them individually, but in the interest of moving some stuff and creating some space and still making a nice profit, that's something I would be interested in. Sell them all for $5 a piece or $10 a piece. That would be great. Make a fortune on it. 8% fee, just flat 8% on. Damn, 8%. Plus, I guess PayPal, right? The minute you win, they charge your card and see if it denied payment, they have to redo and the person is reported. Oh wow, okay. Tough love there, huh, Susan? Good. You got to weed out these people. No time for nonsense, right? Borated talcum. Everybody, that's tonight's T word. Borated talcum. Of course, I misspelled Menon, but we'll fix this. Baby powder. If I was to do whatnot, my first inclination would be records. That would be the first thing I would think of doing. And I know that they're really tough to get into and approved by and all that stuff. And I think you need to give them a sense of your inventory so that they think they'll be making money off of you for weeks and weeks to come. They don't want kind of a one and done scenario where, hey, I have 100 records and then never see me again. I think that's why it takes so long to get approved is they do a little bit of due diligence and try to, to vet the potential sellers to make sure they're going to make their 8%. Which is, I guess, good business, right? This is personal care products in my store. Looking at our exciting specifics here, black and white. $19.23. Menon. Not modified. Babies sell, everybody. Babies. Just in general, we talked about dogs earlier. Babies sell. Babies sell across the board, regardless of product. Let me just look really quickly. This is a limited offer to get some free borated talcum. You have a little baby crawling, picking plants or something. Borated talcum is especially useful after a bath, for changing diapers, before each nap, and whenever baby cries. They make no mention of the word powder whatsoever, so it is literally just talcum. Listen to this. I love the wording that they use. Menon borated talcum covers the skin with a gauzy, slippery film that defeats the effects of friction. Without this film, the chafing of clothes and bedding and the constant rubbing of skin folds would cause painful irritation. So you just want to slather your little guy or girl into this stuff. Summer heat. So let's put that. I'm going to put some baby powder. Summer heat. Diapers. There we go. By Menon. Yep. Of course, Lori. That's what I do, Lori. Professional singer for 40 plus years. Your wife and I usually go through the postcard lots together. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Very interesting. Talk about, history and the same thing that I derive a lot of satisfaction from the ads for the same reason. But yeah, postcards are kind of mini versions of the same thing. They do, Susan. I don't sell a bunch. I have some listed. I'm certainly no guru of postcards. I aspire to be one day. but I do know that they sell very well. There's if you haven't heard of another platform called Hip, if you guys watch Don the Auction Professional, I know a lot of you guys that watch me do watch him. He is always talking about Hip. It's HIP, and then they have 3 different stores. Hip is like the brand. It's like Hip Comics, Hip Stamps, and Hip Postcards. I think that's the 3 that they have. So that's definitely an option if you do have postcards, Susan. eBay and Hip Postcard is the 2 I know of. Then there's another site called Del Camp, which is a foreign site. I think they're in the Netherlands or something. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly where they're based, but that's another popular worldwide postcard site, I believe, Del Camp. Also loves going through the toy. Oh, cool. Oh, I hope so, Dawn. Yeah, maybe I'll try. I definitely have volume in those 2 things. That's my 2 biggest by far, the magazines / ads, which would still involve me cutting them up. But it is interesting. It's intriguing because I could basically do the exact same thing I do now, except I don't even need to scan them, right? I could just have a pile of ads and maybe, interestingly, maybe sell like 20 ads or something together. And that's a great buy for another reseller, wink, wink, nod, nod, like you guys that might be interested in selling these ads. How about, bam, 20 pre-cut, ready to go ads. Get them in the mail, throw them in a scanner, and you're in business, right? Definitely something interesting. Now I'm making a note to look for flappies, babies, and sundials. That's right, Lori. In no particular order, though. But babies, oh, come on. Yeah, babies. Babies sell. You'll see babies in, unfortunately, even in Coke ads. Obviously, baby powder, obviously diapers, obviously sun lotion, Christmas stuff with babies, toy, everything under the sun. Dial. Susan, yes, they can. Diecast is a big seller for those who find some decent prices. Sure. That's a good one, Deal Finder. Good one. Do you watch to see if an item in ad was banned, like some powers that caused, I think you meant powders? There are, well, sure. Remember, I'm selling the ad. I'm not selling the product, obviously. There's a bunch. We've talked about this on several listing shows, too. There's certain recent times have created these new, rules on eBay where you can't list certain genres or whatever. Like, I mean, this is a one that goes without saying, but Nazi stuff or Hitler. I have a lot of World War II ads. We talked about that earlier. You can't write in the title Nazi. You can't write Hitler, but you can certainly say, like I do, the Axis and Allies, let's say, or something. You could dance around it, but you don't want to say swastika. You don't want to say things like that. So anyway, those are no-brainer ones that come up a lot. But as far as, like you said, like products that might be, how about, I have a great example of that, Susan. Manville, who was the creator of, they were huge. What was the Manville that created asbestos and was the most popular product in the world? Owens Manville, is it something like that? Created asbestos, and they were used in houses, obviously, forever, up until the 70s, I guess, 80s. And then, of course, they were found to cause cancer, and it's a highly frowned upon product. But if back in the 20s and 30s and teens and all that, there were lots of ads promoting Manville products and asbestos as a product as a whole. So I don't think that's something that would be banned. I'm not selling asbestos. I'm selling an old advertisement promoting it. But it's definitely something to be mindful of just in general, Susan. Across the board, there are a lot of interesting items that you got to be aware of. And we've talked about this too, like sometimes, and the newest one is, my goodness, not log cabin, Aunt Jemima syrup. I used to have tons of Aunt Jemima pancake mix and syrup ads that were very popular, and they just took them all down like a year ago, so you can't do them anymore. So now when I still come across them all the time, I won't even bother listing them. I'm not going to try to rename it or anything, because if you get caught, they'll take your listing down. You'll get warned. A lot of people have been, blocked or suspended. It's not worth it for one lousy ad. So use some common sense with that's what I try to do. I'm sure they are, Michael. Like I said, I only have maybe 20 of them. Another one of those things I don't know enough about necessarily. I know to look out for real photo postcards. That's all I want. I don't want linens. That's what I know. Diecast is popular. That's cool. You could just auction off one magazine as you cut it, 50 magazines. Yeah, I know. I was going to I put a poll out on my YouTube channel. I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and I think I got like 25, 30 responses. I was gonna do that, offer that to you guys. I was gonna suggest maybe I'll grab a couple of these magazines and kind of do like a little auction style thing just for us watching. This way you have like something to start with if you guys don't have a stash yet. It's kind of the same principle. But I don't know how. This gets back to not knowing. I'm not afraid, but I can understand the hesitation a lot of people have if you're not used to doing something. I'm not sure. I could easily go grab like 500 records right now, and it would take me 5 minutes, and I could wipe them off and just go, here, one record, two record. Well, here's a pile of 20, and I could put them in categories. Like I was, 20 country records from 1973, and bam, and started at $10 or whatever the price is, and maybe they would sell. But the ads, I don't know if it's popular enough. I don't know. You hear it all the time when we're on these shows. Half the comments are, "I didn't realize how much they're worth. I didn't realize. I think that's going to be that's going to be common, that most people don't realize it. So if I go out there and here we go, folks. Old magazine ads. I don't think I'm going to get a huge following, but you never know. I might start one. And I think at this point with Whatnot and its popularity right now, it might be really a great time to get in on something that isn't super popular yet that might become. Like, so you might be the originator of, in my case, the ads, or if some Popeye's doing postcards and just, making a fortune doing that, he's going to be known as the postcard guy on Whatnot. So maybe I could be the ads guy on Whatnot, but I don't know if they're popular enough to warrant this huge auction, but we'll see. A lot of die cast on Whatnot for real cheap. That's cool. Can you use the name? I don't know, Rutan. I would use it just because it's a cool name. A lot being auctioned on there. It could be profitable and easy to ship. Very cool. Yeah, he is, Dawn. That's for sure. But I'm saying this is like a relatively new platform, right? And I can't see, how do you compete with somebody with that kind of volume? Not that I would ever dare, because I don't do postcards anyway, but he's really got like an entire industry by the throat, Who's going to compete with Popeye and postcards? No one. Every moment in history started with someone who had an idea. That's right. You're right. The Godfather. The print ad Godfather. I could come up with a new name too. Do you have like a name on Whatnot like you have on YouTube or eBay? Again, I don't really know. I haven't seen an auction yet. I've just heard about the people doing them. Dominic, Primetime Reseller, I know he was all excited about it. I watch him all the time. And he was excited about it. He sold toys and made a lot of money. And comic books and made a lot of money. But I don't know if when you go on, do you use the same name? Those postcards and SM postcards? What is SM postcards? He ignorantly asks. Should be buying his lots up while he's selling them. He's just got that huge buy. Yeah, exactly. Oh, if you mean Popeye, I'll tell you, for us, like Dawn said it, or a couple people mentioned, right? It's probably a lot of resellers out there. It's a great way to get inventory from somebody who definitely knows his stuff. I don't think he's putting up junk. I wouldn't mind buying a couple 100 postcards from Popeye and taking a stab at it, The print father, hey, Paisan. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that was a name. I thought it was a product. I'm like, what's an SM postcard? Mark, he's on YouTube and eBay as well. Cool, okay. And he's on, does he also do Whatnot? Popeye's my only postcard guy. If the popular, yeah, that makes sense, right? Well, that's what I was saying, Susan, right? You could bring over, if you have a following already on another platform, or if you're on a YouTube following, you could order, if you have 20,000 subscribers, you can just shout out to 20,000 subscribers. Hey, join me on Whatnot tonight. And you're going to get, not the 20,000 people will show up, but you might get a couple hundred for sure. And then you can make some money. He's not putting up junk. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Oh, I know he's not putting, I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he's putting up some good stuff. He's on Whatnot too. Cool. And you already bought them, Dawn? Did you? But you didn't even go through. Did you go through them or anything yet? Haven't been able to buy from Popeye and whatnot. Some big bidders in it. Oh, okay. That's why he's making so much money. Mark is great, an enjoyable influencer. Okay, duly noted. SM postcards. I will look them up. I am not familiar with SM postcards because I'm not a postcard aficionado. Doesn't mean I don't want to be one day. I think a lot of us in this room are probably in the same boat, right? Like, I want to learn new things all the time. I don't want to just be stuck in one thing. I'm not stuck in one thing. Right now, I'm known for the printer thing because that's what I'm hyping, and I'm fine with that because I enjoy it. But we have lots of other stuff. And whereas I think Popeye is pretty much 99% postcards. And God bless him because he's just doing amazing work. And like I know last time I talked about him, he popped in for a minute, which was kind of cool. But I really mean this. I love the fact that he's so willing to teach people and help them. He has a huge series about postcards, which I recorded and kept for myself, downloaded them. So if I ever do want to really get very, very into them, I will watch his series and follow to the letter. All right, let's get up Mr. Men in here, little baby, before it times out. Remember I joked earlier about timing out? Could actually happen. Yeah, Deal Finder, we were saying, but the thing about I don't know why he would want to Mr. Buys-A-Lot, why would he want to give up 8% when he's doing it on YouTube for free all the time, 3 days a week? Does he hope to? I mean, it might be a broader audience. He's a really nice guy. I did go up and I hung out with him for a couple hours. Actually, it was on my birthday, so it was a little over. It was in January of 21. I went up there. Very cordial. Showed me all around the place. It's unbelievable to see the actual. It's one thing to watch the videos or see his little live show stuff, but to walk into a huge, and I mean huge, warehouse that is like, it looks like going into a BJ's or a Costco. Literally, that's or maybe even bigger than that. And it's all his just junk stuff. Stuff. He really does buy a lot. I'll tell you that. That is truth in advertising when it comes to that kid. Let me tell you. Unbelievable. All right. I think we have a couple more of these wacky. Well, who was just talking about Lysol, Dawn? Domestic warfare. Lysol disinfectant. For household and personal use. Love Buys-A-Lot and some of the others good on you. Yeah, definitely. Me too. Yeah, I know. He I don't know anything about comics either, Dawn. And I don't have any interest in it. That gets to a whole topic of discussion. I think most people universally accept the fact that you should be quasi-interested in the stuff you sell. Not that you have to be. If we're resellers and you go to, in my case, an estate sale and I pick up stuff that I would never, I just think it could turn a profit, so I'll buy it, sure. But I really want to enjoy the stuff I'm going to be listing, or it becomes a death pile. So like in the case of these magazines or these records, I love the magazines. I love the ads. I love records. I love my Disney stuff. So like I enjoy listing them. I enjoy learning about them and researching them. Comic books, I just have no interest. Could care less about superheroes or comic books. So even though I know there's money to be made and they're very popular, personally, I wouldn't have a great time going through them. I wouldn't want to put the effort on that because I don't have any joy in it, if that makes any sense. I'm probably in the minority with that. And I know he did really well. He had a couple of videos, Paperboy, and he writes once in a while. He was on our show a month ago or so. Both of them, $1 Million Peddlers on. We're going to have him back on too on a chat show on a Monday night. This week's just to announce a little in advance. Not that I want to rush a nice long weekend past everybody, but on Tuesday we're going to be doing our chat show instead of Monday. We're going to, out of respect for Memorial Day, we are going to postpone that show and do it on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. And we will have a brand new guest on the show with us. I'm looking forward to that one. You're not planning on it? Yeah, I'm not planning on it either. Like I said, I'm intrigued by it because of the success I'm hearing all around. I'm not afraid of it. I just want to make sure I don't want to just dive in without having a sense of what I'm getting into. If I even get approved, that's the other thing that I keep hearing, how so many people have difficulty. Another very good friend of the channel, Tracy from 1987 Adventures, was just approved recently. I don't know if she had her first one. She either just had it or she's gearing up, because I want to watch hers, but she's gearing up for one too. And she was approved in a relatively short amount of time. I know the biggest obstacle, proving to whoever they are at Whatnot, the guys at Whatnot, that you have a very large inventory of a certain product that you want to sell. So you kind of have to prove to them that you're going to have some consistency. They don't want people to be, like I said earlier, one and done. I don't know how hard that is to prove. What do you have to do? Do you have to send pictures of a warehouse full of records in my instance? I'm not sure what you need to do, but you just started to watch EMF. I agree, but he's planning on clearing out his inventory, 200,000 items. I'm sorry, who are we talking about here? Are we talking about Paperboy? Are we talking about Buys a Lot? I'm sorry, I missed the comment. I should have kept up with the chat because I don't know who he is yet. Are we still on Popeye? Oh wow! Could I just ask, what did you pay for 100? For a lot of, is that what he does? He sells lots of 100. Does he start them really cheaply? Oh my goodness! Yeah, Susan, I can understand that. Yeah, you got to check Popeye if you're interested at all in postcards. He's the man, without question. Funny guy too. He's hysterical. His videos, he has like a dry sense of humor. It's just, I laugh so much at some of his stuff. It's hysterical. Yeah, that right, Dawn. That's a great and obvious point, right? I should just go watch some. Do you mean she does not want you to pass away and stuck with your item? Oh my God. Tomorrow, 7:30. There you go. Thank you, Dawn. Here comes another ignorant question. I know it's been asked before. I know they have a phone app. I never use my phone though, like very rarely. Can I just go on a website and put in bids, or do you have to do it on the phone? Some have been approved and were disappointed. A few on their show and several shut down early when losing money. Yeah, exactly. I just can't, like, you have to really, my thought is that you would probably really have to hype up, especially your first one. Like we have Rural Squirrel going on in half an hour, actually selling her 90s. I don't know if they're her 90s, but selling 90s in a half an hour. But like, you got to hype it up, right? To get some people in there. Otherwise, what Susan just said, that's one of my fears, if you will, that I would get all set up with my records or my magazines, whatever, and then nobody would show up, or the couple that do, there's not going to be a bidding war if two people are watching your records. I'm not going to start them for $1. So that's. I would kind of want to get a sense of. I would want to feel comfortable with the amount of people that could potentially show up, because you know how that works too. You send out a thing on Instagram, whatever. Yeah, I'll be there. You'll be there, and 80% of the people that say they'll be there won't be there. Unfortunately, that's how people are. Yeah, check them out, Susan. It's great stuff. Popeye is great. They started $1. What did you pay, Dawn? Come on, tell everybody. For 100, I'm just curious. Like how fast? And that's another thing. If he starts at $1, right? How long? Isn't it like 30 seconds or something per stack or whatever, per item? Use the PC all the time. Cool. Okay. Thank you, Rutan. Yeah, the April Fool's one was great, and like another one that I saved because I love it so much was his the whole fiasco when he went to fly out to Minnesota, and he got derailed and went to Chicago by accident because he was taken to the wrong airport. If you haven't seen that video, it is one of the most. I mean, I feel terrible for him. Everything worked out fine in the end, but he shows up. He comes back from his initial thing and he goes, "I wear a Fitbit," and he has like a chart on the computer that shows like spiking numbers from the Fitbit, like his heart rate. I laughed. I still laugh. I've watched it. I think he did that in January. I've been laughing for 4 months, 5 months. It is so funny. You wanted 36. Okay, cool. So 36 cents a card, huh? A, as you would say. No hot in Canada. It's A. Get it myself. My sisters had to deal with all my dad's stuff. So it goes from Dawn. You check in, pop by tomorrow night, 7:30. He goes, up for your consideration is a pile of 100, whatever. Real picture postcards from Arkansas. Bidding starts at $1. Go, right? Everybody just throws in a number, right? Like, is it only 30 seconds? Does it just keep going until the, like, how, what do they do? I need to browse Whatnot and see how they feature sellers show coming. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure a lot of them are. I'm all over Popeyes tomorrow night, 7:30. That's must-see TV for me. I'm going to try that. Watch somebody I know. Again, I know he has a good following, so he's set up for success. He's the perfect candidate. He's somebody who has a following, who has an infinite amount, basically an infinite amount of product to put out there. So he's never going to run out. He's reputable. He's known. So he's a perfect person for Whatnot. I could see why he's not listing on eBay. He hasn't listed on eBay in a couple of weeks, I think he said now. He's just letting his stores coast. And that's just like extra money now. Whatever he makes on eBay is just icing on the cake. But his money, 14 grand in a couple of weeks, 10-second to 30-second. You can set the auction time to whatever you want, I think. It was mostly 30s. And it's all automated. Like, you just like literally hit a button to bid. I'm going to have to watch one. You're right. I'm asking all these questions to everybody else when all I have to do is tune in and watch one. I know. He flips through and shows every card. Oh, really? In 30 seconds? How does he get through 100 cards? He doesn't. But does he sell it like that? Like, does he bulk them in, like you said, about 100, right? Does he put like kind of like cards together? Like, is it a stack of real photo postcards? Is it? I'm just curious how he does it. I'll find out tomorrow night. They do soft closures or sudden death where time isn't added when someone bids. Tap to bid. Tap. Okay, it's just like a button. Cool. Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha. That's really cool. So up for bid tonight is, and he goes through them all, and he gets everybody at a fever pitch. And then by the time the clock starts, very bright. Wow, that's incredible. It's like a dream come true for somebody like that, right? What a great way to literally get rid of stuff and make room and just make boatloads of cash from it. 8%. When you get your money, here's another question. You sell something. You guys were saying it's instant, right? You have to pay immediately. Did they take their 8% right out of the front, or do you get like an invoice at the end of the month or something? Just curious. Like, you just given net money in PayPal? He's doing smaller lots tomorrow. Yeah, thank you for linking that, Dawn. All over that tomorrow. 7:30. Susan bought a T-shirt. Was sold vintage clean and worth a high amount. I got it was fake. Yeah, see, that's, again, what's your recourse at that point, Susan? What do you do? Do they have like a governing body kind of a thing? Do they have a report button or something on the website? Buyers get paid when the item is delivered. So that's the thing I hated about was that Macari? I think Macari has that too, or Poshmark. You got to wait, and then you have to wait like 3 days after that. Some nonsense. That part I don't know because by the way, welcome postcard guy. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm just reading the comments without welcome postcard guy. Do you sell there on Whatnot? We were talking about it for like the last hour or so, I guess, but you don't know because you're not selling. Yeah, okay, gotcha. But you do have to pay right away, Dawn, right? Like instantly when you win, you have like, do they have a timer for that too? Like you have 1 minute to pay or something? Poshmark's like that. Yeah, I don't like that. I had like 20 or 30 pieces of clothing. Again, cross-posted from eBay. Actually, my daughter's stuff. And we sold one shirt like almost instantly. And I thought, oh my God, Poshmark, right? It's the only sale we ever had on Poshmark in like a month. So I bailed on that one. And I hated that I had to wait like a week to get any money from them. Instant pay, you have a payment method on file. Okay, cool. So you set all that up, obviously, prior to going into an auction. But you can just watch an auction, right? You don't have to be a participant, I'm assuming. I hope. You do giveaways as well to get the buyers interested. That's cool. Right from the onset, like before the bidding even begins, you do giveaways. I filed a claim and a report, just told yesterday, getting refunded. Okay, that's cool. All right, that's good to know. So they do have a little, there is accountability. I figured there was something in place, but I just don't know. You told yesterday getting a refund, but you haven't got one yet, Susan? It's automatic. You have PayPal, right? Not to bid. So for one auction where I bought like 10 things, it was 10 separate. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, well. Yes, just can't bid unless registered. Gotcha. Okay, cool. And when you're a registered bidder, you're open to anybody that's out there auctioning, right? Like you don't have to, we keep talking about Popeye, like I don't have to register with Popeye's channel or anything, right? You just go in as a bidder, I would hope. Yeah, it's great that they're helping you. And yeah, I'm sorry about that too. That's, again, the risk of dealing with people, unfortunately, right? Every 5 or 6 lots, the average maybe 10. Oh, that's cool. And how long do your shows last, Postcard Guy? Do they? Maybe they vary, but like, do you have like a, you try to stick with like a half hour, an hour, or something? I guess it depends on how many people are participating. Bid on each stream, cool. Yeah, I hope that. Awesome. Holy cow! Thank you for watching the Whatnot, how-to show. They just got the TS. Okay, cool. Yeah, he's on it. I'm assuming it's a he because Guy, Postcard Guy. 2 hours, 3.5. Well, can you blame him? Because he's got the inventory, you got that inventory. My God. And I wonder, do they pick up again? I'm sorry, I'm just asking people to do this because I am intrigued by it, without question. Let's say you're setting up your show, right? You do your little presentation prior to hitting the go button or whatever it is, hitting the, auction button. Auction starts now. And maybe you tease a few items or something to get people fired up. Do you see, like, does it gain momentum during the show? Like you might start off at like 10 people watching, and then after like 20 minutes, it turns into 100 people. I'm just curious, like, do people pile in, or do they all kind of get there at the beginning? You have to have a following. You have to following the seller to win gifts. Oh, okay. And it's commonplace for people to give away gifts. I guess 4 hours. Holy cow. I mean, can you blame anybody? If you're making that much money, I'd stay on all, 12 hours. I don't care. I've seen people do YouTube auction, same kind of principle, for hours and hours and hours. Live listing brought to you in part by Whatnot. Yeah, exactly, Michael Gardner. As my poor little Lysol ad sits there, I'm going to, actually, let me get rid of this because it's going to time out. So let's save this. We'll just have a conversation. Dig in the conversation. People jump from show to show, can fluctuate. Okay, again, haven't been on Whatnot. I'm asking so many questions that will all be answered if I just watch the show. I understand. But like, let's say you're watching Popeye, right? He's on fire. You're doing great. But me, I love music. I want to go look at somebody selling records. Like when you go to a person selling records, does it say like 100 people are watching already? Like, does it give you a count so you have a sense of your competition before you get in there? You'll see the numbers grow. Very cool. Great addition for eBay. And you do hip, Postcard Guy. Cool. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. I think Susan had asked about postcards in general and what a great place to sell. And I said eBay, of course, and hip postcard. And do you sell on, what's the other one? Camp. What's it called? Oh my goodness, I just mentioned it before and I can't remember now. Del Camp? It does build sometimes, lose if too much talking and not. Yeah, exactly. So that's all key factors in the whole thing. You have to have like a game show host mentality almost, I guess, and presentation is probably very important. You don't want to bore people. There's a number at the top. Cool. They see you jump in. Yes, you can see who's joining. Cool. Yeah, it's a very good idea. It's all service, right, Postcard Guy? It's all elements of customer service. Delcamp, yeah. Open. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Count as visible. Cool. So before you even go into a room or whatever they call them, what are they called? Channels, rooms, sites? Got to get my definitions down here. So I have a lot of records. Very cool. And honestly, when does Rural Squirrel go on? I think she said 9 o'clock, right? So 20 minutes. Maybe we'll hang out until then. And if anybody wants to go join me, we could all run over. Let me, I know I signed up for an account. Postcard Guy, you should come on the show and we'll do a whole tutorial on whatnot. Where the heck did I put it? Whatnot. I think I have a channel. Yes, I do. Yeah, so right now I have just Primetime Treasure Hunter is my only guy I saved so far. Telcamp.net. Yeah, it's a foreign site. Isn't it in the Netherlands or something? Try to educate on the cards as we go. Give the agent time. That's again great service, Postcard Guy. I appreciate it. I'll check out when's your next show, and if you have a link, feel free to put it in here for the whatnot page. How do I follow people? I'm just a complete novice at the site itself. See, I'm following categories called estate sales and antiques and vinyl records. That's what I am right now following. So if I go up to my little search and I type Rural Squirrel, will it come up? Yeah, Delcamp is definitely good. Does my chat stay up after I finish? I need to take notes. For this show? Yeah, absolutely. I think it takes a few minutes, maybe as long as a half an hour to propagate within YouTube, but yeah, you'll be able to see live chat. Postcard Guy, there you go. Thank you, Dawn. Yeah, Dawn just put a link up there for you, Postcard Guy. Sunday at 7. Awesome. So we have, and I'm sorry, I hope it's not like a direct competition. It's just I know Popeye. So I'm going to watch Popeye tomorrow night. We'll check out you on Sunday for sure. You're very welcome. Just click the follow button. Oh, it's only on the app, which is on my phone, which is my camera. So I can't do that right now. But let me shoot. How do I? So you can't just go in like right now. I know that Rural Squirrel is going on, right? In 15 minutes. Do I have to like search her category? You know what we're going to do, everybody? We're going to pull up whatnot. There we go. So we can learn together, or you could teach me. Let's share the whatnot screen. Maybe we'll want to watch our show together? Do that. Yeah, I got to join Popeyes. There we go. Whatnot. Oh, cool. Okay. Great. Yeah, like I said, man, I don't mean to step on toes here where you're both selling similar products. I'm just familiar with John's stuff. I'm a big fan of his channel. Yes, he is extremely high volume. Gotcha. Okay. Less is more, as they say, right? And that's the RPPCs are the ones that everybody wants. You can also bookmark a specific auction. That's very good to know. All right, look, I'm on Whatnot. Right? There's I got prime time saved. I know that Rural Squirrel is going on in 15 minutes. So I guess I could search categories. She's selling clothing, I guess. Would that be considered clothing? Bags, jewelry, accessories. Come on, let's find her together, everybody. Oh, you did a prime. Very cool. You did a prime. You did a live show with him. Very cool. Yeah, that's a great thing. Yeah, type the name in where. Like there's a search button. Ooh, there's somebody's going on live. Hold on. You see that, everybody? Oh, Primetime's on. Get out of here. Is he on right now?
A bit in there. She's interested in animals.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I love the Muppet Show. I have fond memories of the Muppet Show. I used to watch it with my parents.
Free promotion for Dominic.
Come on the weekends.
My Staten Island paisan.
It was like 7 o'clock at night, and but before there was cable, and parents used to get together with the kids.
Using the gift of gab, right? Very good,
awesome.
Very good.
I had all the celebrity gags. You can get them on DVD. There are a lot. The judges at the.
No offense to Dom, we'll go back, but I want to find Kristen is Roll Scroll, right? You can search for user on the website. Oh, you can't. Okay. But like, you see how like all these are popping up if I just hit lives, Dawn? Won't she pop up like if I select the category she's selling in as a live show? Look at all these people selling right now. What do you think it would be considered? She's selling 90s clothing. The little red on the left top of each page shows live. Okay, gotcha. Yep. And there's your item count, right? Or your viewer count. 57. Estate sale and antique shows. This would be me. Vinyl record. That would be me. Don't care about sports cards. I have my own baseball card collection from the 70s from when I was a kid, but would never dabble in that. Does anybody know what category it might be in? Food and drink, arts and crafts. You know what? Does anybody, I'm going to text her. Not text her. Write her on Instagram. I think. Rural. I'm going to write her really quick and see if she could tell me what category she's in. Maybe we could find her that way because I don't want to. My phone is my camera, so I can't look on the phone right now for the app. What category? I mean, to bug her, she's setting up for probably all excited for her first show. But if anybody knows, let me know, please. So it'd be cool. We could watch together if you guys would like to. I would like to. It's cool that I can go live until 2 a.m. Yeah, that is awesome. Is that the cutoff? 2 a.m. Ooh, so we can just copy and paste that, Dawn? I can't because I'm in StreamYard. Hold on. Hold the phone. Page not found. Oh, yes, it is. There it is. It's right. Hey, Jeff, were you here all this time? I thought you left. How can I send this to myself? Hold on. Being very, very creative here. I am using a program called StreamYard to stream to you folks, and I cannot, even though Dawn put a link in here, I cannot click on it. Oh, but I can click it if I go to YouTube, can I? We're going to get around this. Let's go off of that screen share, and we will stream together if that's okay with everybody. Check it out for a few minutes anyway, because again, for me, this is all brand new. It's literally my first one I'm ever watching. Other than Dominic's, I did watch a few minutes of, and he's on now. Okay. Thank you for that, Dawn. Jeff is lurking. You need to send it. No, I got it. Thank you, though, Dawn. I got it. I went into my own YouTube screen and just clicked the link, so now I have a page. So let me share that page with everybody, if it's all right. I have a tick to share audio. So hopefully we'll be able to listen together as well. And she's not scheduled for what, another 10 minutes or so. But there she is, Rural Squirrel. Now for you pros, let's talk logistics. Let's talk the layout of this page. Where does one bid? I'm looking for that. I'm going to follow her first of all. So bam, follow. Share, you could share it out. That's cool. I guess that's the thing that Dawn just gave me. You can copy a link. Cool. She has 39 products. She has 52 followers. Yeah, I just hit the follow button. Thank you. You only bid one slide. Only bid one slide. Gotcha. Okay, so there is no bid button available. Gotcha. So she'll probably do the same thing, right? She'll come on and talk for a few minutes, introduce herself. This is the first show, so this is a big deal. She's a very nice girl. She's been coming into our show for a while. I follow her on Instagram. Very sweet lady. She's in Colorado, but she travels all over the country to go sourcing, which is kind of cool. They start auction button will pop up. So cool. Now I am I guess I'm registered, right? I have my account and all. Is that all? And I guess you have to put in your PayPal and stuff, right? I'll check that when the screen is not shared. Barbara, you think it's under vintage? Okay. I wonder if it says it now that we found the link. Does it say what category it's in? Anywhere. And I'm sorry, I'm leaning over because my camera is blocking half my screen. It just says vintage slips and 90s. Thank you, postcard guy. Thank you. This is cool. I'll watch a whatnot. For me, it's my first time. I don't know anybody. Apparently, I'm the only one that hasn't been on this thing yet. But it'll be a interesting. It should be very interesting. She has to set the bid first. Okay. So bidding begins at $1 or whatever it is, right? Being clothing, it's probably under the vintage and thrift category. I guess just like listing items on eBay, it's really important to be in a good category and whatnot, right? To pick the proper category. I mean, I know for sure there's a record one, so that's where I would go. But is there a postcard category, postcard guy? Or is it like under ephemera or something? Make sure you have it. Once you're approved to sell, you can hop and sell from category to category. Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah, okay. You're not just approved per category. That's actually excellent to know. So if I get in for records, I can also do my print ads and everything, and I don't need a separate application. Vintage clothing. Cool. Cool, Michael. Yeah, we'll check it out together, right? There's a bookmark you can click. It's like the bell on you. Okay, very good. You set a reserve at start or $1. You also set time. Cool. Oh, okay, right at the onset. But you can go past that if you're doing great, or you just modify. Like, let's say you start off initially as an hour, but you're doing great. Can you increase it to 2 hours or something? Or do you have to do a new show? Yeah, it's going to be cool, Michael. Yeah, exactly. That's what I just said, Dawn. There is a little pay thing. I'll set it. I don't remember if I did or not, but I'll check it out. Hey, CJ, welcome to you too. Have you been lurking as well? Everybody with their lurking. Adding categories every few weeks. Very cool. As long as you want. Awesome. But you set up, like when you first start up, do you put an initial time frame in, I guess, and then you do whatever you want? Estate sales and antiques. Oh, okay, Jeff, thank you. No limit for your stream. Beautiful. She's got to be pumped right now. I would be excited, my first one. Oh, look, I'm in there, Jiminy Flip It. Rachel is here. Rachel Strickland. Is that Jeff in there? All right, so we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 9 or 10 people watching already. She's got. That's awesome. I know, CJ. It's what you do, right? Each time can be set for any limit. 30 seconds through. Okay. You thought she meant granny. Nah, she said 90s, I think, Barbara, was the word she used. So Susan's eating supper at 10 o'clock. Well, 9 o'clock. I guess you're probably in a different time zone. I guess that's allowed. Very cool. I hope the sound comes through, everybody. It should. The setting on. Did you hear a bell when I just did that? Let me know. But I have the thing set up to play the sound from the screen. 90s. Hey now, Laura. Yes. Run the auction as long as you want till you drop. Yeah. Either that or pull the plug after 30 seconds because nobody's buying. Right? Ring. Okay, you heard it, Dawn? Cool. Then you should hear we should all hear the sound together. I'm excited. This is very cool. I'm excited for her. Lori's prepping her chops. Beautiful. 8. Oh, okay. So you're an hour behind me. Late dinner. Yeah, I didn't eat either because I came on at 6. Yeah. Here we go. Great point again. You need to ship within 2 days. That's fair, right? The shipping thing. Can you explain? Dawn kind of did too. The buyer does pay, right? But isn't it like after your first purchase, the rest of the items are free or discounted or something? Like, do they force you? Do you create your own shipping policies? Is really my question, or do they kind of tell you what you need to do? I'm just curious. No, Dawn. I'm excited to watch them sell though. I'm excited. I really am. I think this is cool. First, it's my first one. I keep saying it's my first one. It really isn't. I did watch Dominic a couple of weeks ago when he first started for like 5 minutes. I started watching it and I forgot why I didn't watch it because we were doing something and I couldn't continue. And then he was raving about it the next day. I'm like, oh man, I should have watched it. It goes by weight. Oh, okay. Whatnot provides you shipping labels. Cool. $1 shipping after the first item, but they are changing it to weight. Yeah, that's what Postcard Guy just said. Goes by weight. Which in the instance of just thinking out loud again, if I do my ads, that's great because they're very light. If I do records, it's not so great because they're heavy. But you can go media mail with records, which is very cheap. What is her name here? I think it's Rural Squirrel. Up in the top left. Can you guys see that? A rural squirrel. Yeah. Might be, Jeff. Might be. Right now, the second item and those thereafter is $1 shipping. Oh, changing May 30th. Oh, all right. So just a couple of days. So if and when we have us new people that are interested in it, I guess that'll all be shipped upon weight, based on weight. Cool. June 1st is what? Wednesday or something? Or Tuesday? It's like coming up a couple of days. Wednesday, yep. This is exciting. Now, if I'm selling on Whatnot and my show starts at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be there at 9 o'clock. Let's see if Rural Squirrel is a prompt squirrel. I'm sure she is. Cool. Okay. But you could still, obviously, based on the product you're selling, right? You could sell first class if it applies. You could sell media if it applies. You could sell priority if it applies, I hope. I'm sure that's true. Like, can you set up UPS and US Mail and all that good stuff like every other site? Wow, so Dawn's obsessed. No wonder you can't sleep, Dawn. You're watching these stupid auctions every night. You're cut off. See, I like that. Postcard Guy again. Service. He's giving stuff away. He's hyping up his items. He's welcoming everybody individually, which is good business. Playing slots, exactly. No media mail, Postcard Guy, really? And they determine? Well, that stinks because records are the definition of what media mail is. That would be a very expensive proposition to mail 100 records. Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. Mermaid, right? Yeah, I get that. You mean from a buying perspective, Rutan, right? From a selling, you're exactly the opposite. You want people to be obsessed with your stuff. And all right, now what's going on? According to my clock, it is exactly 9 o'clock. So, oh, that's good to know. Okay, and you get the discount as a seller, I assume, right? Do they have like tiers of sellers? Like if you sell a certain, if you hit a certain quantity or dollar amount, you do start getting some benefits from that postcard guy? Like on eBay, you know, top rated or whatever. Do they have an equivalent?
I do.
Here we go.
Hey, this is my first ever whatnot. I'm super excited, and I have brought in help. So this is Megan. She's going to be putting on some of our cute little 90s forests. She's going to make sure that they are adorable, and you're going to want them so much. So this is my friend. This is Jen.
Hi.
She is also going to be helping behind the scenes. I've got such a great crew. We're going to be drinking our mom water. So make sure that you guys have a beverage, and let's get started. Okay, I'm so excited. If you guys have questions, make sure that you just put them in there.
Can everybody hear her?
As much as I can as we go along. And I'm going to be learning from some of you guys. So let me know. Let's say hi. Oh my gosh. Hi, Rachel.
Can you guys hear her? Just let me know.
Oh my gosh. Jiminy, flip it. Hey, how are you? Let's see. Renee, Retro Relics. That's so cool that you guys popped in. All right. My setup is kind of weird and janky, but
Dawn, can you hear
it's my
her?
first one. I'm learning, okay, guys? Let's see. So first, this is going to go up for, this is the freebie tonight. So if you want to register and sign up for the giveaway, that's going to be given away at the end of the night tonight. Make sure that you're following on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and YouTube and all those good things. So let's get started, okay? First up, I'll give you this and you can rest that baby. First up, vintage little slip, black. It doesn't have any tags on the inside of it. It is a little bit older. You can tell from the feel of the lace. It's got a side slit. It's knee length. Let's see if we can find, okay. First one, how do I bring that up there? Quick add? I don't even know. Nope. How do I start that auction?
Here's the things I fear, people. Live. There's got a lot of people
I'm trying
watching.
to figure this out. I know. It's my store. Oh, wait. Here it is. Auction. So we're going to do 1 minute auctions. Okay, you guys? There it is. I think that's it. That's not it, is it? I did try to practice. Huh? It's got to be that one. Okay, super cool. It's giving me a hot flash. Whew. Start auction. We're going to start it at $2.
What a
$2
bargain.
Auction for cute little black slip. I think that this is a JCPenney slip. It's made in USA. The hemline is adorable. Any takers on that? Anybody have any questions? Oops. Oh, wait. Pin the item. Oh yeah, you got it. You guys, you're helping me so much. Select the dots beside the item. You are so on it. Thank you guys so much. Do 30 seconds. Nobody bids until the lower items. Oh, okay.
Good
Got
luck,
it.
postcard guy.
You guys are helpful. I appreciate you guys so much. Okay, so this first one's going to be a 30-second auction. Or I mean a 1 minute auction. And after that, we're just going to wing it, okay? So I tried to do it with 2 phones, but I am not technically savvy enough to be able to do it. Ooh. So, okay, cool. Time is up. We will pull that one aside and we'll try that one again another day.
So nobody bid?
Megan, she's going to be doing, this is a cute little, oh, there you go. Love that slip dress. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is a vintage, let me see. Dots next to the side. Nope. You're doing so good. You just keep working it because I can. Rocket girl.
I don't see the bid button that everybody's talking about. Do you guys see a bid button? Maybe that's
Boy, you guys, this is harder than it looks,
true.
isn't it?
But where's the bid button, postcard guy?
Mhm.
She might have.
So I put in everything ahead of time, and I thought it would be easier just to pull it up and use it.
Does anybody see a bid button on
But
the
I think
screen?
it's this one up at the top.
I think she might have.
Thank
Maybe
you, Lily.
Maybe she's not doing it right.
So this was also going to start at $2. Love it. You can see the tag over there on the side underneath her arm.
Isn't she starting it, Dawn?
Vintage Vanity Fair, I believe. This is a size 36, so it's a large, extra large. But Lily is not a large or an extra large. She's more of like, I would say, a small medium. More maybe medium.
Like there's a counter that says 40 seconds left.
Yes, very good job, Megan. Let's see the back again. And look at the hemline. Thank you for the bid.
Yes,
So,
people are bidding.
Cajun Teacher, I appreciate you. The hemline on that has got a cute little lace, and I like the lace along the bust line too. It's got adjustable straps. You got 17 seconds left. Good job, Megan.
There we go. You're right, Susan. Thank you.
This is, I mean, you could wear this for a nightie. You could wear this underneath a dress.
So she's selling this for $2,
A lot of
everybody.
people- it used to be you didn't go outside without wearing a slip underneath of your dress. That looks really nice, Megan. Good job. Thank you so much, Cajun Teacher 2. I appreciate you so much. Run next. Do I click that? Do I click just run next? Coming up next. Run next. Oh, no, that's not right.
You just won, Susan?
Stop that. Stop. 0 bids. Stop. Oh my gosh. Hello, Ginger Marvin. How are you?
Yeah,
I don't
first
know how
sale.
to make this one quit. Here, let's try this. You scoot that one over there a little bit closer, please. Edit item. No, not edit item. How's that?
Yeah, you can see a counter at the bottom right. See, it
That's so
says
much
27
better.
seconds. So they're all these
one
all live.
It's
Like
also super adorable. It's a Victoria's Secret, and this is one of the newer Victoria's Secrets. But here we go.
there's
Still
17
know
people
how to fix
watching.
that. Okay. So we might as well just wait it out now.
Good
at this
point, postcard guy. Shipping. Where is that stated?
Thanks, AdSense Boutique. So I guess you're going to take that one home. We need to make sure that we correct that and make sure that it's the one that you want. Okay. I'll check back. I'll check with you after the auction. Okay. Okay, Lily, what do you have on, sweetie? Megan, it's adorable. Okay, so this one is my favorite. Okay, look, there you go. This is going to start also at $2. This is a look at the embroidery or the what are those called? Appliques that are on the spin it around. You got it on backwards, sister. Twist it on your waist.
Yeah, you twist it.
There you go. Slide that baby around. Okay, so it's this is a vintage. It doesn't have any tags on it. It fits like a small, extra small, but oh my gosh, look at it is stretchy at the waist. It's got these great pink appliques and sort of a sheerish detail on the hemline. It's adorable. Did I start the auction? I did start
Where
the
does it say
auction.
shipping
I think
and
this one's cute. This I
whatnot?
think is
Oh, shipping
probably
information. There you go.
I would say 70s. Definitely 70s. Maybe even 60s, but with the look of the applique and the lace at the bottom, but so cute.
Did she just say
5 seconds
applique?
left. It's
That's a
lace.
big word.
Oh, it's really nice, Megan. Thank you, Cajun Teacher 2. You got another one. That's awesome. Good job.
Yep, she's doing
Okay,
60
now I
seconds.
think I'm kind of getting the hang of it. Next up, slide it close to that signage.
So she sold 2 things for $2.
Make sure I got it up there. Yes. I didn't put these in order. That probably would have been a good idea to do it that way, wouldn't it? Thanks for hanging in here, guys. Start auction. $2 on this little guy. So this is also like a little 90s chemise. A lot of people are wearing these as just shirts right now. It's Vanity Fair is the brand name on it. It says it's a size 36. I'd say it fits more like a medium they're alphabetical. That helps. Oh my gosh, Rachel, that helps so much. Can't stop it. Oh, well, too bad. We've already done it. So, thank you, Pittsburgh Picker, for giving me information. I appreciate it. So this is super cute. You can wear it as a top. You can wear it underneath the jacket. You can wear it plain.
This is what I thought Postcard Guy was saying, is that he kind of, previews his items before he starts the auction, which I think is, she's kind of doing them all at once within a minute.
Totally.
And there's, I don't know.
Cute under a jean jacket.
Oh my god.
I feel bad. I know she's got to be so nervous.
Just like the edge tucked into your jeans.
I think she's doing a great job as far as presentation. And
yay! Thank you, Cajun teacher. So I think you guys are getting a good bargain on some of these.
I'd say so.
And 2 seconds left. Good job. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Right, exactly. Hype it up, right?
All right, Megan, what do you got next? Ooh. Oh, it goes on that hanger. Like I had that other one. Oh, nice job. Megan, that looks good.
Oh, I'm sure.
She's got on, this is a nightgown. I would call it a nightgown. I think that you could have used it for a slip.
There's also a buy now section, like Popeye sells pockets.
And if I could,
oh, that's cool. Okay. That's good to know. So there's no auction at all. It's just, it's like eBay, right? You just go buy.
A lot of them have the same name.
No sizes.
Like this in the store the other day.
Yeah,
Like
I think
you know what?
presentation wise,
You
she's
could.
great. Like,
If you had like one of those lace,
she probably just has to learn
like
the
Free
system
People has
itself a
those
little better. I
lace
think she should
overlays.
do what
They
you
would be
said.
So cute. Let's try
Preview
this
it
one
first,
also,
then
$2.
start the auction.
So nice.
You want to build a little bit
I
of
like
a
this one
frenzy.
because it's got like a little scalloped edge along the top, along the bust line, and on the hem. So it doesn't take away from how just like simple it is, and you can wear something glitzy and fabulous and lacy and sheer.
She sounds
on top
very
of it if you
professional,
wanted
which
to.
is
So-
really good too.
So I would call this a midi.
There's a buy now
It goes all the
tab.
way
Not
down
everybody
to your,
uses
like,
it. Okay.
Shin length. And if you're super tall, it would hit you at your knees, but or if you're super short, it would
Yeah,
hit
I
you
think
at
that's a
your
nice.
But
You could see it at all the
best
different
couple name
angles
ever.
instead of a mannequin, right?
Trevor and Lizzie. Oh yeah, good job, Rachel. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's super cool to have my very first auction. You guys are doing a great job, Megan. Thank you. I'm so grateful I have super good friends. To
Like
help
people
with
are
that.
asking
So,
questions. Can I wear
7
this tucked
seconds
into
left.
jeans? Blah blah blah.
You're like, oh, I thought I was done being cute. No, girl,
$3 bid.
you got all night long to be cute. Odd Sense Boutique, thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. That's great. Thank you, Megan.
I mean,
All
she
right, let's
sold
see.
what,
Next.
2 out of 3 or 3 out of
We have
4?
another slip. This one's a longer black satin start auction. This one's also going to start at $2. So this
See,
one I
she's
would
hitting
also
start
call a
auction
midi.
right away, and
It's
she
got
should
this
probably
great,
wait.
Like side slit over on the side, so you can wear it either
Yeah.
on the side or in the back. And I think it's got
Yeah, I'm sure
like a great
there's no
weight.
restriction
You
on
could
that kind of
also
stuff,
wear it
Dawn.
underneath things. I've seen people wearing these like really as skirts and stuff too. You know, the youngsters.
I
the
know, that's what I
kids.
feel bad about. $2 too. That's what I'm saying. You could lose your shirt in this. No pun intended. As a
I would
seller,
call this one a small.
There's a learning
an extra
curve like everything
small,
else, right?
Maybe the waistline on it is a little bit smaller, but and then there's lace trim all the way.
totally,
around the
Michael. Her
edges.
positivity.
So-
She has a very bubbly speaking voice. I think she's doing
It's
great.
nice for pencil
Presentation's
skirts,
beautiful.
It's nice for underdresses.
I think she should
It's nice
do
just for,
what
you know,
Postcard Guy is saying is
drinking tea
hype
on
it
the
up first,
porch.
then
drinking
start
your
the
mom
auction.
water on the porch.
Don't do this during your 60 seconds. You know what I mean?
Great. We will hold that one for. Oh wow! You snuck it at the last minute. Yay! Thank you so much, Odds and Boutique. I appreciate you. That's awesome.
That's all.
All
Blame me.
right. Oh my gosh, you're gonna love this one. Wait till you see this. Megan has on this adorable 2-piece set. It's given me some like
So 80s.
so 80s, like early 90s. I would say that this is like a Versace / Gucci vibe to me.
So cute.
So cute. I love the high sides on the, it's like a Kelly Kapowski sort of an outfit. So it's a 2-piece set. It says it's a size large, but the waistline.
You
on
see,
the
just for a
shorts
point of
are
reference, now
elastic.
she has 13 viewers.
So I think you
And she
could
started with
probably
17.
be pretty flexible.
I think
I
a lot of
think
people
Megan
are
is
in there just for
probably a
support, like
smaller
me. You
medium.
know, like we're in there.
But it fits her pretty good. vintage sizing, vintage tags.
You want
on
bidders,
the
not
inside.
supporters.
I absolutely love this
I think she's
print.
doing a great job, though.
This is my first Whatnot 10th Street. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, Megan, you're doing a great job. We've got 18 seconds. I hope somebody sneaks in and swipe this one. Oh, they are. Cajun Teacher 2 is winning this one. Oh my gosh, this one is adorable. Look at the little like scroll work on the sides. That's what makes me think that it's like Versace, Gucci. Oh, that is
that's cute.
so cute. Wouldn't that just be adorable? Ah, thank you, Odds and Ends Boutique. That is awesome. Good job, Megan. You look adorable. All right, now we're getting into some other items here.
Some more leopard print.
Some more leopard print. This one is not necessarily vintage. This one is a little bit newer, but it's still adorable. So I'm going to start this one at not 21, at $1. So the bustier at the top is padded and like formed or shaped. It's got these great like rock studded embellishments on the side and this hot pink.
I heard about that too, postcard guy,
adorable,
but you know,
bottom
hopefully
half
they'll
of
fall
it
by the
is- I would
wayside,
call
those
this
kind of
like a
people.
teddy. The bottom half of that one has like a little sheerness to it.
That's what I'm saying. I think her
Super
presentation is
fun,
incredibly professional.
Super like, wow.
Like it has like a 90s, and even kind of that 80s like rock star on the hood of the car vibe to it.
a little bit of White Snake in there. Yeah, that would be awesome. Oh my gosh, I didn't put music on. You're right. White Snake would have been awesome for this. Yeah, if you touch that in with a pair of jeans and wore it to a Def Leppard concert,
Nobody would know.
who's gonna know? Who's gonna know? They're not gonna know. With a denim jacket over the top. Of course, that's my answer to everything. Just throw a denim jacket over the top of it. So.
She's my answer to everything too.
Thank you, Cajun Teacher 2. That is going to be so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay. So now we've got, this is also vintage. I'm pretty excited about this one because I think this one is just so classic 70s mom. You know, maybe I watch too many movies because I think that that's just the mom with the hair up and her, you know, cigarette hanging in her mouth. Whatever, but why can't I find this one? That's just me, you know, whatever.
What's happening in your house?
Yeah, painting her nails.
Right.
Why? There it is. 80s, 90s white slip. This one is start auction. We're going to start this one at 2. So this one, look at the lace at the bottom, how it's got some
Absolutely true.
like
Darwinism, baby.
rows of lacing. So what was cool about that is when they did it like that, you could take a seam ripper and make it a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, whichever you needed. So it was back in the day considered to be like adjustable. Hey
Well,
guys,
those people
thanks
aren't going to
for
be buying
popping in.
old
I'm so
print
glad you're
ads, so I don't care.
here. Thank you, Jiminy Flip It. I appreciate you. Thank you, Right Selections. That's awesome. So this one is, it's vintage, it's Vanity Fair. The tags on the inside of it are really cool. It says made in USA. It says it's a size 34-inch, which I would, again, call it a medium or a large. It's knee length, but because of the way it's lacing at the bottom, you could adjust the sizing on it. Oh, thank you, Rachel. You're being sweet. So the back is just nice and plain. You can wear it under a dress. You can wear it as a nightgown. And there goes the lights. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate you so much. Ah, this is fun.
Is the lighting okay?
Yeah, I think we can keep going without having that overhead.
I feel like it's okay.
Yeah, it's good. Thankfully, we have these other boxes. So this is the next item coming up. So, whoops.
Well, yeah, because it's appropriate to the product they're selling,
Oh,
right?
there. Okay.
You don't want to just see a
So
noise.
The next item is a pair of Victoria's Secret shorts. These are like sleep shorts with lace on the bottom, and they have this great tag on the inside. And I'm going to show it to you here in a second. But we're going to start those at 2. So they have this great tag on the inside. So the inseam on them, I would say, is probably like, I don't know, maybe a 4-inch inseam. But the stretch is a little loose on these, I would say. It says that it's a size small, but look at that. That is not a small. Look at these tags, though. I don't know if I can get any closer so you can like see, but look at the tags. Aren't those great?
That is not small though.
No, that is not a small, but you can kind of see the pattern in the satin a little bit better.
Did you just buy them from Popeye, Dawn?
I think
Some
they're
cat
adorable.
postcards?
I would have worn those.
Oh, I feel like I did wear those.
You might have. Not these though. Not those. Mm-mm.
That's a great question,
So
Rutan.
that is the end, I think, of that one. No. Oh, 10 seconds. Man, I was trying too hard, wasn't I? Make sure that you guys can see those tags.
Yeah, right.
That's
Create an
definitely
atmosphere.
a Victoria's Secret tag. Back in the day when they still had like satin undies that matched. Do you remember that? Or was it
I was
just
going to
me?
ask about that because on YouTube you'd get shot down immediately.
But they had like the little candy top.
Thank you, Cajun teacher. Gosh, this is, you guys are having a great time. Thank you. Me too. Okay. Now, Megan, what else have you got? Hey, Pat Jared, thanks for jumping in. 10th Street Market. Oh, this one's a good one. This one is not vintage. I want to make sure that I preface everything saying that that's not when I have something that is and when it isn't, but this one is great because
It's inevitable postcard, right?
it is a bride robe. Let's see, we're going to start the auction again at $2. Can you see where she's got like gold lettering on the back where it
You
says
have to do this
bride?
on a cell
And
phone?
there's lace
See, I
around
can't stand that.
the cuffs of the sleeves. It's just so cute. Wouldn't that be fun to
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That's what I'm
give
worried
to
about
somebody
too.
as a gift because there's lots of weddings coming up again. Yay, we get to go to weddings again. That looks really nice on you, Megan. I like that.
Isn't that cute? I like
Yeah.
that too.
I think that whenever you are a bride, you wear that for like 2 weeks straight leading up to your, and then you wear it on your honeymoon, you wear it to the shower, you wear it for the girls' night, you wear it to get ready. So it's pretty flexible. Everybody would want to have one of those. So cute. And then you usually get all the girls that go in your wedding party. They all get.
I'm trying to read some of the
cute
comments and
matching
whatnot.
t-shirts
So
or robes or
it just
something.
says that
The
people are
bride
joining.
is always, you get center attention.
And she's at 14 again.
So I love the gold labeling on the back. That we will save this one for another time.
Yeah, nobody got
And
that.
Thank you, Megan. Now, look at this one.
Mermaid.
This one
Where's Lori?
It's so fun.
It's so fun. I would think that this is definitely
Absolutely
concerts.
concerts.
Good job, Megan.
That's great to know too, postcard guy.
We're going to start this one also at $2. This is an awesome bustier that's got so much like
Character?
iridescent sequins on it. I think it's got like, you could do goth with this, you could do punk with this, you could do rock, you could do Halloween. There's
Postcard
so
guy,
many
when you're
different things.
selling, does it keep a tally for
Model it,
you of how
Kristen.
much you've sold for
Uh-huh.
the night? Like, does it keep an ongoing?
There may or may
amount?
not be pictures somewhere. I don't know. Just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But that's definitely
I lowered the volume on my end. I don't know if you guys are
that would
impacted by that.
definitely
Can
be
you still hear everything clearly?
fun to wear this
Yeah.
sometimes. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
maybe after the bride's honeymoon,
And during the honeymoon.
Yeah, during the honeymoon. Yeah, definitely. So you got 10 seconds left on this one. Eisenman's Boutique, thank you.
Oh, cool. Okay, so you can see a
much.
tally. That would be motivating
Yeah,
from a selling
yeah.
perspective, you know.
And it's a great sizing because it's adjustable.
Actually, let me show that.
Eisenman's
The
Boutique.
back is super cool.
Yeah.
With the lace up.
Very nice. Thank you, Eisenman's Boutique. Okay, Megan, what do you got on next? Oh, yeah.
I love that color.
I love this one. Okay.
This is
so
annoying.
one
I can't. You
is,
see how I
a
keep going like
vintage
half of the
Vanity
screen,
Fair.
guys? It's because they don't have
We're
a
gonna start
bar
the
on the
auction
right
this
where I
one.
can
$2
scroll
also.
like
Vanity
half a
Fair.
page at a
Okay,
time.
So my
Sorry about
My
that. It's like
mom-
I'm
my
trying to
mom,
see
my
the whole
grandma would have
picture
worn
in case
something
there's
like that
something
when
at
I
the
was
top or the bottom.
little, I love this, and
But,
I think
I
that
can't. It's
she
either
would
this or
literally
this.
sit on the front porch drinking tea.
I would wear this one.
Yeah, I think it's adorable.
I'm pretty sure that my mom, 100%. My grandma might have been a little short.
On the
for my
left where it
grandma.
shows the list of
But,
items coming up, there's a sold
That
tab.
is nice.
Oh, okay,
so this
cool.
is knee
So
length.
cute.
Gotcha. Yeah, I
It's
see
got
that.
a
Very good.
satin, like a hemline on it, so like a ribbon along the edges. So cute. It's so like loose fitting and comfortable, so you can just
Yeah, there you go.
couch
Very
and
good,
watch
Dawn. Thank you.
TV. You can wear it to bed, of course, and I think it's sweet. I like the embroidery at the top.
I mean, hey, it's something,
So
right? At least
it's
she's
like-
selling.
quietly a little bit like a little sexy, but not. You know what I mean? So it can be fun and playful, but then also be
Now
like,
she's at 12 viewers again.
it's satin and it's
It's
sweet.
sassy.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Rachel Strickland. Ah, this is fun. Oh, your mom used to have the same one. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So this is another set of vintage night shorts. Let's see. These are Victoria's Secret vintage night shorts, like a butter yellow. They're just creamy and dreamy.
All right, guys, you want to keep watching this? I really wanted to just kind of get an
size
idea about
small,
the process
extra
and all.
small.
It's up to you if you
We're gonna
want to keep
start this one
watching.
also at $2. The tags on this one are
It's a lot. You got to
also some more
organize.
of those
There's a lot going
vintage
on here, but I
Victoria's
really am
Secret
impressed by her
tags. I
presentation.
think it's like an ivory
You know, having a
tag,
model
so
there,
that
having
would
the
put
little
it in
sign there with all of her
probably
information
the
is really
late 80s,
bright to
early
do that, I
90s.
think.
Oh, for sure.
She
for
speaks
sure.
great. You
And
know,
it's
she's
got this great,
got a salesman's pitch. That's good. She sounds like somebody you'd hear on QVC, doesn't she?
Let's look at
I think she's going to do great.
so that you guys can see.
Yeah, I could see that.
Vintage
Thank God,
tags.
right?
Isn't
You're not.
that
You don't have to stand there.
Oh my gosh, I think that is just so cool.
Thank you, Dawn,
whenever
very
you can
much.
see-
Great seeing you. Yeah, I think we're going
I know
to.
that we get into details about
cut out of
different
this.
Levi's tags and stuff, but they also get into it with the Victoria's Secret.
I really enjoyed it
tags
though.
also.
It's an eye-opening experience. With the records, I totally agree with Postcard Guy as far as hyping it up a little bit before hitting the go now button or whatever it's called to start your auction, because she's trying to cramp in a 1-minute auction and trying to tell the details and have the girl model all within that 60-second window. And maybe you could do that prior to hitting the button for a minute. I don't know. I don't know if that's frowned upon. Maybe they want you to just keep doing auctions and not sit there and talk. I'm not sure, but to me, it's time well spent if you hype it up a little and talk about all the specifics and then say, okay, we're going to go live or whatever. We're going to start the auction in 15 seconds and maybe come up with a little graphic or something, countdown, building suspense and building interest in it. She got to $10 I'm not sure what that means. She got $10 auction on one. Set up a pickup for over 100 gaming magazines. Looks to be free. Oh, wow. Cool. Yeah, make that happen if you can. She keeps going. It's her first one. I hope she stays on there for a while. I hope she makes a lot of money. I mean, it might be a case here where, the individual items are not selling for a lot of money, but if she has a bunch of them, if she has like hundreds of things to showcase tonight, she can make a couple $100. And at least, she started. I think it's fantastic. I like it. I could see the addictive, this is not exactly something I would watch normally. Just clothing in general, never mind 90s, but just clothing. I wouldn't watch a clothing show, me personally. But if somebody's selling something I'm interested in, I could see the frenzy building and getting pumped up and, human nature coming out and competitive nature coming out and hitting that bid button every 10 seconds. Talking limited to just the time bidding is good. Do you think so, Susan? I just think it should be like Postcard Guy said, like maybe just do a quick summary prior to starting the auction. Megan, whatever, is going to model this thing and it's size large and it's this and it's this. Okay, the bidding begins in 10 seconds and you get all of that kind of stuff out of the way and you save the 60 seconds strictly for bidding instead of like talking about it during the bid. I don't know. Oh, you did, Susan. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. We pay shipping. Yeah, and eventually, I think the ruling was in a couple of days. It's going to be based on weight. I just hope that she has a lot of items to try to put up for auction tonight, so she makes something. I'm sure she'll make something. But interesting, definitely interesting. All right, everybody, it is 9:30 here. We've been on for 3.5 hours. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging on. And we turned the second half of the show into the Whatnot show, but I really appreciate it. Thank you, Postcard Guy, for joining and contributing so much. We learned a lot from you. I hope you tune in. We'll be on the chat show will be Tuesday night this week, next Tuesday instead of Monday, respect for Memorial Day and all those who have served and given their lives for us. So we will do the show on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll have a special guest on with Travis and I. I'll see everybody then. I'll probably have a video or two coming out on my YouTube channel this weekend as well. So look for that. And please, if you haven't hit the like button already, I'd appreciate it if you took a second and just hit that thumbs up for me. And we will see you on Tuesday and probably during the weekend with a couple of videos. Thank you again, everybody. I really appreciate you showing up. And Postcard Guy, thanks so much for being a big part of tonight's show. Have a great night and a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.